He picked off his Muller moving and shot. Great save by Chevelday. Goffers a shot. Good save by Chevelday. Bernay moving and slot shot and a nice save by Tim Chevelday.
Oh, how quick we have been to forget how well Tim Chevelday has played for the Jets. If we needed a reminder, we saw it on Wednesday night as Chevy outdueled two-time Vezina Trophy winner Dominik Hasek. For the last month, all eyes have been squarely focused on the 7-year veteran since the injury to Nikolai Habibulin. And since the new year, Chevelday has been the Jets' best player in 3 of their 4 games. He's been a pillar of strength for a team in need of confidence. Tonight, the Jets look to drive their Chevy and themselves into 5th place in the Western Conference standings with their 3rd straight win. And the Jets look to get back to 500 at the arena as they battle one of their oldest rivals, the Hartford Whalers, live on CKND. Molson Jets Hockey on CKND Winnipeg TV is brought to you by Molson Canadian. Well, just like the weather, the Jets have been hot of late. They've won 2 in a row, 3 of their last 4. Tonight they look to make it 3 in a row as they take on the Hartford Whalers. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Molson Jets Hockey on CKND Winnipeg TV. I'm Joe Pascucci. Joining our telecast tonight, one-time Hartford Whaler, Kerry Wilson. And Kerry, it's a critical game for the Jets, the middle game of their homestand. They're on a win streak for the first time in over a month. They have to keep it going.
It is a big game, Joe. They're riding a curl right now. They got a lot of momentum coming in from Detroit. A big win there. They come home. Usually it's a tough time coming home, opening a home stretch, and it's tough carrying that intensity. They did that against Buffalo. They got that win. They want to continue that momentum. A lot of the strength has come from their team defense. They've really changed their game there. Tim Chevelday is playing strong in goal, and they're playing an overall team defense, and that's where the wins are coming in.
All right, it is Friday, so just like Sergeant Friday, here are the facts about the Winnipeg Jets. 42 games, 41 points. They go to 500 with a win tonight. Goals for 153. That's not bad. Goals against 156. They have to improve on that. At home, 13-6-3. That's impressive. On the road, not so good, but their home record is carrying them so far.
That's right, it is. And you mentioned the goals against. And the key there in goals against is team defense. And, you know, on the road so far, they haven't been doing that. Last couple of games, like I mentioned, it's been considerably better. They got to continue to do that. All 6 players on the ice have got to contribute. They've done it in the last 2 games. They got to continue on with it.
All right, with more on tonight's game, let's bring in Kurt Kuhlbach and Ted Urban.
Hello again, Ted. What a difference a week makes. And all of a sudden, the Jets have won 3 of 4. Chevy's being talked of like a rock. The Jets win in Detroit. They win here. Are they setting themselves up for a fall against Hartford?
Oh, easy game tonight, Kurt. You know, Winnipeg Jets, hot goaltending, good specialty teams, high-flying offensive team. Hartford not that good on the road, but watch out. The Winnipeg Jets in the past have not played well in this type of game. They have to concentrate tonight for 60 minutes. They can only beat themselves.
Couple of guys with the Winnipeg Jets a little unhappy about certain things right now, but the 2 of them going about their contract negotiations in different ways.
Well, as you say, they're not happy with the money they're making. Coach Terry Simpson has said to them both, go out and play to the best of your abilities. Alexei Samsonov, you need to score points, and he's got 5 in the last 2 games. Dallas Drake, go out and play the body, play well defensively, and kill penalties well, and he's doing that very well recently.
When you think of the Hartford Whalers, you think of Sean Burke, you think of Brendan Shanahan, and you think of Jeff Sanderson.
Jeff Sanderson special. Here's a young guy that's 15 goals right now. He's leading the Hartford Whalers in scoring. He's had 2 40-goal seasons, and for the Hartford Hockey Club to be successful, he has to score goals as well as Brendan Shanahan.
Okay, so it should be an interesting show tonight. The Winnipeg Jets and the Hartford Whalers coming up the opening face-off here on CKND Winnipeg TV.
Molson Jets Hockey on CKND is brought to you in part by the home of the Big Buy, Jim Gauthier Chevol's Geo Cadillac.
In today's world of beers, Molson dries in a world all its own.
factoids from Advance. Nothing is free, but during the January warehouse clearance, you'll find the latest quality brand name electronics at the guaranteed best price or your money back. Plain and simple, only at Advance.
It may happen today, it may happen tomorrow. And if it does, you'll be glad you have a CAA Manitoba membership.
If it wasn't for you, I'd be here forever.
When problems happen, we'll be there to help, providing the finest emergency road service. Tomorrow, hundreds of Manitobans will be reminded why they have a CAA membership.
It really saves me every winter, every winter.
For everywhere you go today, go with CAA.
The road to Super Bowl 30 runs through Sportsline as CKND presents semifinal Sunday. Kickoff at 11:30. Indianapolis against Pittsburgh, followed by Green Bay and Dallas. For all your NFL highlights and more, watch Sportsline weeknights at 11.
Day after day, you see the same thing. Car and truck buyers driving all over Manitoba looking for great deals, only to end up at the home of the big buy, Jim Goche. And then they ask, how do you always have the best prices? And how can you sell your cars and trucks for so much less than everybody else? Well, the answer is easy. Volume! If you don't come see the big guy today, he can't save you any money.
I'm McPhillips, north of Inkster.
Yes and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
So it's the Winnipeg Jets and the Hartford Whalers. I'm Kurt Kielbach, along with Ted Irvin and Jerry Wilson, three of us in the broadcast booth tonight. And, of course, Joe Pascucci down below deck. Sean Burke will be in goal for the Hartford Whalers. 12 wins, 18 losses, 3 ties. He's considered one of the best in the business, and he has a couple of shutouts. And the red-hot Chevy stands opposite for the Winnipeg Jets. Tim Chevelday, first star the last 2 games in Detroit, and then here against Buffalo, a goals against average of 3.94. The referee tonight is Terry Gregson, the linesman Swede Knox, and Brad Lazarowicz. Kerry, the comment was made that Paul Ranheim out of the lineup tonight. The Whalers want to add more beef.
Well, that was a bit of a surprise, but I think the way things have been going for the Whalers, maybe they've been getting a little bit pushed around and want to maybe make a statement here tonight.
So the opening face-off, Martins against Shamnov. Puck goes back to Brown for the Whalers. Brown gets it over on the left side to Glynn. Glynn back to Brown, back to Glynn. He looks ahead to Captain Shanahan, pokes it to Emerson. Back it goes to Glynn, long shot wide. Going back to get it is Teppo Numminen.
Well, not playing tonight, Kurt. Winnipeg Jets, Nikolai Habibolen worked out today. Eddie Olchuk worked out today, close to playing maybe Sunday. Ronan's out, Shannon's still out, and Stu Malgunas. The scratches for the Hartford Whalers is Stephen Rice, tough young rookie Daniels, Glenn Wesley, the veteran player, Paul Reinheim, and rookie again, Jeff O'Neill.
Hartford Whalers only 1 penalty the other night.
That's embarrassing. We go on the road like that. How do you like to phone home to your parents and look at the summary? I got the only penalty.
Here's Brown. Puts it into the Jet zone, and it's knocked down. I remember one time they had a game, Buffalo and Montreal, where they went without a penalty at all. It's about 3 or 4 years ago.
We see the young rookie coach for the Hartford Whalers, young Paul Maurice, coached in Detroit in the Ontario Junior Hockey League last year. Big task for a young guy to come to the National Hockey League and coach at this level.
Here's Numminen. Gives it to Shamnov. Shamnov works his way out to center ice, trying to dump it in. The puck bounced free. Now with it is Brown. It's sent out over center, and back with it is Quint. Quint looks up, gets the pass to the blue line, knocked back. Shanahan for Glynn. Glynn couldn't handle, and Shanahan goes back to get it. Here's Emerson, the former Jet, slides it into the middle. That's broken up. Drake back to Numminen. Numminen looks for Drake. Here's Drake with Tkachuk to his left. Gains the line. Looks for the trailer. It's a short goal. It's in behind the goal, and it's picked up by Brown. Gets it on the right side to Martins. He dumps it in. Chevelday leaves there for Manson.
Manson goes through a couple of Whalers, gets it over now to Shamnov, who gains the line. Shamnov on his backhand. Leo lets it go. The forehand shot, and the net was knocked free.
You see Dave Manson breaking the puck out here, and this is going to give the coach a nightmare. There he just beat 2 players, and give him credit for doing that, and moves the puck up to Shamnov. But boy, this is what Simpson doesn't want to see. This is where in the past Dave Manson's coughed the puck up a bit early in the game. That's where you want to get the puck out of your zone.
Turcotte comes out between Korolev and Solani. Solani drops back to the point for the face-off. They'll try to feed him for the shot. McIver is out with Manson as the defensive pairing. Face-off won by the Whalers. Here's Featherstone in behind his goal. Watched there by Turcotte. 1:20 gone in the opening period. The first meeting of the season. First of only 2 between the Whalers and the Jets. Dineen's pass intercepted by Solani. Now Dineen gets it back again. This time gives it to McIver, who takes it over. Here's McIver, chased by Featherstone, dumps it in. Didick in behind against Solani. The puck goes free to Castles. Out to center ice with it is Featherstone. Long shot. Cheveldae elects to cover up with reincarnated Whaler Kevin Dineen hovering near.
Well, you see Hartford right now, they're giving the puck away. The coach just hates to see a pass go across the center of the ice like that. Jets, they're right again, 2 in a row like that, and coaching staff will tell you all the time, you know, come up the boards when you're at that point of the ice, and you give it to McIver, he goes in, gets a shot on the net. But coaches will tell you, don't go through the center of the zone.
Well, it may be one of the reasons Kevin Dineen wasn't getting a whole lot of ice time in Philadelphia before he was traded for futures to the Hartford Whalers. Here's Daryl Shannon, takes it in behind his goal. Watched there by Cron. Pass picked off. Now Cron puts it back. With it is Finley. Behind his goal for Winnipeg. Tried it for Stapleton. He pokes it ahead to King. King looks into the middle, gets it to Eastwood. Eastwood dumped it ahead, and Smith is back for Hartford, chased by Stapleton. Puts it over now to McCrimmon. Pass up the left side, goes beyond the reach of Cron all the way down the ice. Going to get it is Daryl Shannon, and that's icing against Hartford.
Tim Cheveldae is on a roll right now. He played very well the last couple of games against Buffalo and Detroit. He's got his confidence level up. The players feel very comfortable playing in front of him. And he's going to have to keep the Winnipeg Jets in the game early till the Jets get their legs.
He's come a long way in a short period of time. Terry Simpson said this morning if Habibulin was healthy, he'd definitely be going with Cheveldae.
And Terry was very strong about that point. And he was trying to make a point to the media, I think, that Chevy's playing very well, guys.
Nicolation against Stapleton in the face-off circle to the left of Sean Burke. No score. Now the Whalers, Nicolation slides it out to center ice. It's picked up there by Stapleton. He's checked. Puck goes free. Glenn trying to get by Stapleton. Poked it ahead. That goes into the Jet zone. Now picked up by Nicolation. And it goes back to the blue line. Pumped back in by Burke. Adam Burke down into the corner. Daryl Shannon can't clear. McCrimmon puts it in deep. With it there is Smith. Being watched by Shannon. Once again, Daryl, the only one of the Shannon brothers rest. Here's Cron. Shot. Cheveldae save. And Stapleton puts it ahead to center ice. With it there, Doan, his pass goes over the line. And McCrimmon brings it back. Puts it ahead now for Nicolation at center. Gets to the Jet line. Trying to work through Quint. Frees the puck. It goes to King. King's pass on the right side to Doan. Doan knocks it in. Eastwood gives chase. Brown goes with him. Eastwood looks in front. Eastwood fights off a check. Puts it in deep now for Gillen. Gillen kicks at it. Now it's put to the side of the net. Burke knocked it away. Trying to hold it in unsuccessfully was Newman, and puck goes all the way back into the Jet zone. And going there to get it is Quint, with Jensen's in pursuit. Quint turns, puts it back to Newman. Ahead now to Gillen. Gillen looks rink wide. Tried it for McKenzie. Glenn can't clear. Here's Eastwood. Shot, and it went wide. It goes all the way back down the ice, and going to get it is Newman. Takes it behind the goal, nearing the 4-minute mark of a scoreless opening period. Gillen sends it down to the Whaler line. And here's Chase. Dumps it into the Jet zone. Cheveldae out of the goal. To Newman. Newman looks to Shamnov. He missed the pass. It goes all the way. Burke tried it for Diddick. It's picked up now. Kachuk jammed off. Drake shot. Martins had to go off him, right back on Sean Burke. Scoreless, 4:18 in. This is your Molson Hockey Telecast.
Freedom. Independent. What it is, it is.
Dad, you worked late.
Oh, all night. Need any help?
No.
Good, because I'm too tired.
Tested and true. I know that you'll always come through.
Thought you could use some help.
Thanks.
Well, Terry Simpson's wondering if the guys can get a little bit more momentum going right now. Here, the Jets are in good position, but get outworked on the boards. And Stapleton was in a good position originally, but has got to get his head on a swivel and not lose Cron. Cron ends up getting the puck and getting a good shot on goal.
Now, right off the face-off is a penalty coming up against the Winnipeg Jets, and Keith Kachuk heads to the box, so we'll have an opportunity to see the Whaler power play. And another opportunity to see if the Jets' penalty killing can be as sharp as was the case a couple of nights ago, Ted.
Well, the last game, Terry Simpson was very pleased with the penalty killing. You know, Shovelday played well, but Terry Simpson was telling us today that he's gone down to a group of 4 rather than 6 defensemen, and he feels that maybe he'll have to use fewer players on the penalty kill to give more ice time and to get some more special team cohesiveness. You'll see right now, Hartford Whalers, they rank 22nd on the power play, and the Jets penalty kill is 22nd. Key guys for Hartford are going to be the big Brendan Shanahan.
Interference to call against Keith Kachuk at the 4:20 mark. Here come the Whalers. In over the line, trying to work in his Cron. Puck goes in deep. McIver trying to clear. Can't. Here's Shanahan, moves it in front. And Gillen comes up with it and clears it away. Nelson Emerson back on the point on the power play. Also out there, Nicolation, Cron, and Shanahan up front. Brown is the defenseman. It's dumped into the Jet zone, picked up there by Manson. Manson over to McIver. McIver sends it out over center. Brown knocks it down. Gillen wraps him up momentarily. Now Shanahan. Tried it for Nicolation. It goes off him. Right down in Chevelday. Gives to Manson. Manson sees some room and dumps it the distance. He's brought in quickly after Burke. Puck goes to Brown. 1:07 left in the penalty to Kachuk. No score first period. Shanahan dumps it into the Jet corner. Finley goes after it. Castle's after him. Now it's freed up, taken in behind the net by Sanderson, out for Emerson. Back it goes down to Sanderson, back, here's Emerson, shot. Shovelday the save, and he covers up. Now we've got a scoop from Joe Pascucci.
All right, thank you very much, Kurt. I'm with Jim McCall. He is a Jets fan who's come all the way here from Columbus, Ohio to watch them. And Jim, he was disheartened as the fans here in Winnipeg about the team leaving.
I'm pretty unhappy about it. I mean, it was the first team I ever got to know of pro hockey, and it's the cradle of hockey country. There's so much tradition here, and I think it's really unfortunate that they had to move under these circumstances.
All right, Jim, thanks for coming here to Winnipeg. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Now Jeff Finley with it for Winnipeg. Gets it ahead to Drake. 40 seconds left in the penalty to Kachuk. Here's Emerson with it. Emerson stops. Dropped it off. Taken there by Sanderson. Goes outside Numanen. Now dumps it in deep. Deneen goes after it. Puts it to the corner for Castles. Can't contain the pass. Eastwood dumps it out to center. And now Sanderson takes it over. There's a rush to the front of the net. Sanderson lets the shot go. And Eastwood clears it off the glass all the way down. 14 seconds left in the Jet penalty. Sanderson passes it in behind the net. It's taken there by Diddick. Watched by Turcotte. Gerald Diddick puts it on the left side, dumped into the Jet zone. Kachuk steps out of the penalty box. Both clubs at full strength. Manson scoops it high in the air. Kapanen with it there, gives to Diddick. Diddick circles back. Now King cuts it off in the neutral zone. Turcotte trying to dump it in. Can't. Here's a pass too far for Kapanen. Goes Holloway down. Shovelday from Manson. Manson got it to Turcotte. Turcotte avoids a hit. The former Whaler puts the pass across now to McIver. McIver to King. King dumps it out. With it there is Diddick. Diddick moves in. His pass rink wide. Back to get it McIver. McIver tried it for Solani. Left now for King. King moves with Solani to his right. King gains the line. Dropped it to Manson. Dumped at the net. And Burke covers up on that one very easily. You're tuned to the Jets and the Whalers on CKND, Winnipeg TV.
If you're like me, you know the importance of contributing to your RSP. It's one of the most significant financial decisions any of us can make. And that's why you should consider investing with CI mutual funds. At CI, you can choose from a range of 20 Canadian and international funds. And you have the assurance that your RSP will be managed by some of the most respected money managers in the world. Your financial advisor knows CI mutual funds. All you have to do is ask.
Beverly Hills 90210.
Yes, I told you I would be there. Did you turn that thing off?
Monday at 7 on CKND, Winnipeg TV.
Don't give him my phone number.
Celebrate the Carnival of Venice with the Olive Garden's lasagna and chicken Alfredo. Luscious 4-cheese lasagna, together with Venetian grilled chicken on a bed of fettuccine Alfredo, with free super salad and breadsticks just $12.95 at the Olive Garden, Canada.
Wow, we see Chris King's got a little bit of a shiner under his right eye. He took a pretty good blow from Kelly Chase, who's out there to play the body and does it very well. Chris King will come back, I can tell you that. But Kelly Chase has 4 points, and he is a penalty man. Sean Burke, the goaltender, has 5 points. So we know why Kelly Chase is on this hockey club.
Off the draw, the puck goes back to the jet line. Darren Quint there to get it. Gives it to Newman. Newman's pass, tried for Shamrock too far. It goes all the way down. Burke trying to clear. Does get it on the left side. That's taken by Nicolishin. Up to the jet line. Trying to go outside. Quint stays with him. Now Brown dumps it in. Newman hands it off to Drake. Kachuk. Drake. Kachuk. Over to Quint. Quint moves it up, dumps it in. And going back is Glenn. 7:40 gone in the opening period. No score. Here's Newman and in front for Drake. Drake tried the shot. That was blocked. Loose puck. Smith knocks it down. Jemnov picks it up. Jemnov over to Quint to drive. And the save by Burke. Cron beaten to it by Jemnov. To Quint. In deep. Deflected by Drake. Kicked out. Now Kachuk took a high stick. And I don't think Gregson saw it initially and then decided on what had happened, and there will be a penalty for high sticking on Brian Glenn. Kind of a delayed reaction call, Kerry.
I think Brian Glenn just takes a whack at the puck, and his stick rides up on Keith Kachuk's stick and ends up catching him in the mouth. And the rule is these days it is called an errant stick, and even though it wasn't intentional, Brian Glenn does get a 2-minute penalty for it.
So the Jet power play takes to the ice. The Jets 10 for 19 with the man advantage in 96.
See the special teams here. Winnipeg Jets played very well on the power play right now. They rank 3rd in the National Hockey League, and Hartford ranking 20th in the penalty killing department. And you would think the Winnipeg Jets, with the way their power play has been going, should have some excellent scoring chances on this power play.
Well, Kachuk takes his time as he heads over to the bench, maybe trying to shake that one off a little bit after taking a high stick. He's got the mouth guard.
Keith makes enough money now, Kurt. I think he has his own dentist right on the bench.
He's out there with Solani and Shamnov up front. McIver is at the point along with Newman. Castles and Kachuk. Kachuk wins it to Newman. Newman gives to McIver. McIver, Solani shot that hit the side of the goal. And it goes up and out of play.
Well, Well, you see here how important it is to win that face-off, especially on the power play. It gives Jets control of the puck. You take a look at Norm McIver here. He makes an excellent job of dropping his shoulder. He locks the Whaler players in position, puts it across to Solani, gives Solani a little bit more time to get that shot away.
Here's Shamnov, gives to Newmanen. Newmanen back to Shamnov. Shamnov to McIver. McIver backs off, gives to Solani. Solani over for Newmanen. The pass was off the mark. Newmanen has to go back. 1:35 left in a man advantage for Winnipeg. No score. 8.5 gone in the opening period. Here's Newmanen. Gains the Hartford line. Puts it over to his defense mate McIver. Down to Jamnov. Over to Solani. Working in front. Shot. Safe. Rebound. Jamnov hit the side of the goal. Jamnov back to Newmanen. Tkachuk is in front. Back to McIver. Over to Newmanen. He gives to Jamnov. Tkachuk still in front. There's going to be another penalty to the Whalers as Tkachuk was knocked down. And then later on Jamnov and then Tkachuk again. I guess he figures as long as he's going to the penalty box, Glenn Featherstone I'm talking about, he might as well make it worthwhile.
Well, the coach of Hartford, Paul Reese, is not going to be happy with this penalty. You take the one penalty because you're clearing the front of the net, but to take the second one, that's just a no-brainer there. And Featherstone, being 6'4", 215 pounds, he's going to clear the net no matter what. And you'll see Tkachuk stations himself in front of the net, and Hartford Whalers knows that's where Tkachuk's going to be, so they put Featherstone, who's a big defenseman. They're going to try to move Tkachuk out, and the only way they're going to do it is by giving a cross-check in the back. See it coming up here again now. Now comes the second one. Solani makes a good move. Solani goes to the net very easily, and then here's Zamnoff. He takes a wrist shot. He sees the top corner. But Sean Bird, being 6'4", really covers a lot of the net. And if he goes down, you got a chance of putting the top corner. But if he's standing up, there's not a lot of room for you to roof that puck.
What a glorious opportunity for the Jets. Featherstone cross-checking, Diddick slashing both at 8:55, and there's still 1:07 left in the penalty to Glenn. So the Jets, whose power play has been dynamic, have a two-man advantage. Tkachuk is out with Solani, Shamnov, Newmanen, and Korolev as they go with four forwards. 1:07 left for Glenn, and of course Featherstone and Diddick just getting there started. Nelson Emerson is out on the ice now. Brendan Shanahan comes over for a moment to say something to referee Gregson, and it looks as though it's going to be Shanahan, Emerson, and Brown to kill the penalty for Hartford. Gary, it used to be teams would kill a two-man disadvantage with two defensemen. Now you're seeing more and more they go with two forwards.
Well, I think the important thing you see there is you want to have what little bit of puck control that you're going to get. You want to make darn sure that you get it and get it out of the zone.
Here's Brown, takes it behind his goal. Brown chased by Solani, trying to clear, stopped by Newmanen. Newmanen puts it along the boards, it's kicked away, and Jamnov goes back for Winnipeg. Jamnov chased by Emerson. Emerson puts it back now to Newmanen. Newmanen mishandles, he's got plenty of room. Jets a two-man advantage. Newmanen's pass to Korolev. Korolev dropped it off to Solani. Solani bothered by Shanahan, looks back to Shamnov. Tkachuk is in front, so is Korolev. The pass picked up by Shanahan. He puts it over to Emerson. He'll kill as much time as he can and end up at the distance. Jets still with a two-man advantage and will be for quite some time. Here comes Shamnov. Moves it up to center ice. Gains the line. Gives to Solani. Solani puts it deep. There's nothing there but Whalers. 3 Whalers in the area where Solani put that puck. Here's Tkachuk. Takes a look. Gets it back now to Newmanen. Over to Shamnov. Shamnov, Solani. Tkachuk's in for Shamnov shot. And that missed the net. Newmanen. The first penalty is over, but the Whalers still 2 men short for 47 seconds. Shamnov puts it in front. Tkachuk, Solani. Shamnov, a drive. Rebound, pulled wide by Tkachuk. Korolev. Tkachuk. Now Tkachuk gets it back to Newmanen. Newmanen to Shamnov. Shamnov to Solani. Solani is checked. Gets it back down to Shamnov. To Korolev. Out front Newmanen. Over to Tkachuk. Waits. Shamnov looks. Fires it wide.
18 seconds of the two-man advantage. Solani, Newman, Kachuk, Newman, they score! Kachuk on the deflection.
Well, I think here there's a lesson to be learned. The Jets were passing it around, getting very fancy, had some golden opportunities, but finally the way they did capitalize was the simple solution. Get the puck back to the point, take a shot, get in front of the goalie in a deflection. Here you see the Jets doing a fantastic job working the puck around, but they weren't getting it behind Burke. Finally, you see her, Solani gets it out of the corner, puts it back to Newman, takes the shot through the crowd. Kachuk gets the deflection and goal.
So Kachuk gets his 5th goal in the last 3 games. He had 2 the other night against Buffalo, 2 a couple nights earlier against Detroit. And all 5 have been the same, Ted. Carbon copy standing in front redirecting.
Well, Terry Simpson again was telling us when Eddie Olczyk was so hot in the power play, one of the problems Keith Kachuk was having, Eddie Ol likes to stand in front of the net. So Keith just wasn't getting the chances. Since Eddie Olczyk's got hurt, Keith has gone right to the same position Eddie Olczyk would go to, and he's getting all kinds of chances. Keith Kachuk is strong. He can stand right in front of that net, and he's not afraid to take some punishment. We can see now why he's still complaining to the referee. When he got the penalty, he got his tooth chipped there, and that'll be a trip to the dentist tomorrow.
Now the Whalers dump it all the way down the ice. A minute 12 left in that final of the 3 penalties. Jets with a 1-0 lead. McIver ahead for Turcotte. Is out on the power play with Drake and Stapleton. Puck goes back to Drake to Manson. Over to McIver. McIver gets it to Stapleton. Turcotte is in front. Now goes to the corner to fetch it. Trying it for Stapleton. Stapleton checked. Shanahan gets it to Emerson. Emerson again will circle back, kill some time. 45 seconds left in the man advantage for Winnipeg. Here's Manson on the move. Gains the line. Lets it go. He scores!
Dave Manson picks this puck up, goes end to end all by himself. Watch the shot right on the ice. Burke committed himself, came out a long way and didn't have the corner covered at all. But, you know, Manson was shooting the puck in the warm-up list right on the ice, far post, inside the far post. And as Carey was saying earlier, the coaching staff doesn't want Dave Manson up the ice too much, and he's going up the ice if he can score goals like that.
Unassisted goal by Dave Manson, so the Jets power play 2 for 3. They have a 2-0 lead. Here's Finley, headed knocked loose. Now Finley gets it again, dumps it in, going back to get it is Burt. Burt looks ahead, 8 minutes left in the opening period. Eastwood, tried it for Gerald Shannon, knocked away, dumped into Jet territory. Finley approached by Sanderson, gets it to Doan. Doan puts it ahead, and McCrimmon is back for Hartford. Takes it behind his goal. Both clubs at full strength. Sanderson works up the middle. He's got Castles and Dineen with him. Now Sanderson gains the line, puts the pass over. Here's Castles in there, and Dineen couldn't redirect. Now King with it. Ahead for Doan. He missed it. That goes all the way, and Glenn back for the Whalers. Brian Glenn ahead to Jeff Brown at center ice. Dumps it in. Going after it is Smith. A shot wide. It's picked up by Gillen. Gillen looks across, spots McKenzie. McKenzie over the line. Back to Newman. Newman indeed. His shot. Blocked easily by Burke. McKenzie in behind. Now Burke leaves it there for Brown. Brown's pass to Cron. Cron puts it ahead. Center rink wide. After it is Smith. Trying to be quick to the outside. Smith cuts at the net. Rolls right into Shovelday. The puck rolls wide. 2-0. The Jets lead with just over 7 left in the opening period.
Intercepted by Chris King against Carpenter. Score! Chris King rips one.
out of control.
He owns your life.
He can destroy our world. He figures we'll have to turn to him as the new messiah.
And now he's terrorizing your world.
In 3 days, I'll be in every system in the world.
You've got to stop Joe before it's too late.
God made him simple. Science made him a god. Now he wants revenge. This universe is mine. Lawnmower Man 2, Beyond Cyberspace.
Now playing at a theater near you.
So the Jets scored 2 goals in 41 seconds, and we've got a couple of winners on the Safeway Score and Win. On the go by Kachuk, Chris Lovering of Winnipeg qualified by attaching a proof of purchase from Campbell's Soup to a ballot provided by Safeway. Chris has won a set of quality appliances from Tefal. And on the Manson goal, Ruby Patrick of Winnipeg purchased Quaker Dips granola bars and entered Score and Win. Congratulations, Ruby. You won a set of Dirt Devil vacuums from Royal Appliance. Well, Darren Quinn has gone to the penalty box for holding at 12:55. So the Whalers have the power play for the second time tonight. They trail 2-0. Stapleton dumps it all the way down the ice. And going back to get it is Emerson. Emerson and Brown are back. Cron is up front with Nicolishin and Shanahan. Pass goes astray. Stapleton trying to knock it in. Manson pounces on it, waits, and dumps. And going back is Emerson. Emerson over to Brown. That goes to center. Manson knocks it into Whaler territory. Emerson approached by Eastwood. It goes around to Cron. Robert Cron to center to Shanahan. Back to Cron. Cron gets up over the jet line. Dropped it back to Shanahan. Shanahan looks in front, lets it go with Cron there. And the save by Cheveldae. Now Eastwood starting away for Winnipeg. Shanahan after him. Eastwood shot. That goes wide. And Emerson for the Whalers. Gets it to Shanahan, to Nicolishin. Nicolishin works in front and tried to drop the pass back to Sanderson. It goes to the corner, and with it is Finley. Finley knocks it out. Drake gives chase. He'll be beaten to it by Emerson. Emerson's pass for Sanderson. Drake picks it up. Drake down deep, looks out for Turcotte. Elects to kill some time. 41 seconds left in the man advantage. Drake does the job down there, surrounded by Whalers. And finally the puck goes to Turcotte. Back to Shannon, a shot wide. Here's Brown. Good ovation for Dallas Drake. Brown gets it to the knee, cut off by Finley. Puck rolls in deep. King goes back to get it. Gives to Finley. Finley dumps it away. And that should just about do it. 10 seconds left in the penalty to Quint. Here's Diddick. Puts it in, goes after it himself. Diddick down deep, trying to center. McIver blocked it. And with it is Yevnov. Away for Winnipeg as the penalty expires. Deneen on the left side. Castle shot. Chase tried to redirect, just missed, and Kachuk has it now. He's got Yevnov and Solani with him. Kachuk's pass picked off. He winds up getting it back and gives to Manson. Manson to Yevnov. Yevnov looks ahead for Solani, and it's offside. The Jets 2, the Whalers nothing. Here on CKND.
Your best shot at winning is always with Mr. Canada's Tour and Network during the Great Western Gold Rush. Take any scheduled trip between February 14th and May 29th, and you could be eligible to win gold, coins, and prize giveaways just by riding with the winners to Casino Regina. Just $79 to $119 per person. There's $2 million in prizes up for grabs, including the grand prize of 10 ounces of pure gold. Call today for complete details and to book your seat. The Great Western Gold Rush from Mr. Canada's Tour and Network. You're the moose.
This just in from an alert gas customer. You could be paying several cents a liter extra without knowing it. For full service, many stations charge several cents a liter extra over their posted price. Don't be a victim. Check the actual price. Refuse to pay a cent extra. Fact is, at Domo, you get full service at the self-serve price. Fast, enthusiastic service that's free. That's Domo. Better service, better price. Domo, the jump to the pump people.
CKND and Canada Safeway present live coverage of the Safeway Select Men's Provincial Curling Championships on the 10th and 11th of February from the Keystone Center in Brandon. Join Sportsline's Darren Millard and Joe Pascucci, along with Don Finkbinder and Kathy Gauthier, to crown the 1996 Men's Provincial Champion.
Puck is dumped into the Jet zone. With it there, Manson. A hit for Tkachuk. Tkachuk's pass to Solani with Jemnov. Here's Solani going in deep. He lets it go. And I think Burke got a piece of it. It's dumped out for Jansen. Jansen gets checked at the line. Chase follows up. He in turn checked by Manson. Manson's pass goes to Tkachuk. Tkachuk looks in front of Manson, who takes it. Tried to redirect, but Jemnov wasn't where Manson thought he was. Now Jemnov works with it along the boards, trying to cut in front. Chase has it, dumped it out, and with it there is Manson. 4 minutes left in the opening period. The Jets leading 2-0 on a pair of power play goals by Tkachuk and Manson. Here's Solani, his shot that's blocked by Brown. It goes behind the net, and Burke covers up.
We want to make it perfectly clear. You'll find guaranteed low prices at your Canadian Tire store every day. If you find a better price anywhere, we'll match it. Guaranteed.
In the first intermission, Joe Pascucci will be speaking with the red-hot Keith Tkachuk, and also with Sean Hunter, the marketing manager for the Jets, or whatever they'll be called once they move down to Phoenix for next year. Sean Hunter in the picture there. He'll be speaking with Joe. And there's Sean Burke, Stapleton, and Nicolation. Face off. Puck goes back to Newman. Newman lets it go, and play has been called. There's going to be a penalty.
Well, Shane Doan picks up a penalty here. Strong kid, and I think it's almost like an even up type penalty in this case here. The youngster is anxious to get out there and play hard, and takes a penalty, and he was actually skating to the bench. He didn't think he had the penalty, but off the face-off, you'll see the puck gets caught in the feet there. He kind of interferes with the Hartford player coming out and pulls him down, and it's kind of interference for it.
So that's the sixth penalty, 3 to either side. But, of course, the Oilers haven't had near the advantage the Jets had when they had the two-man for such a long time, and did capitalize on the two-man once and then on the final one.
Well, Coach Simpson's theory of playing 4 defensemen seems to be working. He goes a lot with Tepel, Newman, Manson, and he's got McIver, and then Finley. That seems to be successful on this penalty-killing units.
Nicolation, Shanahan, Cron, Emerson, all out there for Hartford, along with Jeff Brown. Brown gets it over to Emerson. Emerson's pass, that's broken up. It rolls in deep. After it quickly is Cron. Cron trying to cut up the net, takes it in behind. Looks back to the point, Emerson. Here's the shot by Brown at the side of the goal. It bounces high. Stapleton puts it to the corner. Now Nicolation picks it up. Goes behind with Newman in pursuit. Gets it to Cron, to Emerson. Over again to Brown, to Emerson, to Cron. Emerson shot. Cheveldae saves. Shanahan. They bang away at the rebound. And somehow Tim Cheveldae is on top of it.
Well, you see Tim Cheveldae continues to stand tall in the net. He sees most of it, which is a big reason why Tim's been playing so well. He's getting the contribution from his defense. He sees the original shot, and then he's able to cover it up. Newman's right there to move the player out of the way.
A minute 22 left in the penalty to Shane Doan. Nicolation, Cron, Shanahan up front still, along with Emerson and Brown. Shanahan and Emerson have seen an immense amount of ice time in this opening period. Penalty killing and on the power plays. Here's Burke. Leaves it for Emerson. Emerson, who was acquired by the Whalers for Darren Turcotte, gains the jet line, lets it go. That was redirected. Now it goes back to Shanahan. Shot rebound. He's going after it. Shanahan gets it again. Puts it over to Cron, to Shanahan, to Emerson, to Brown. Traffic in front back. The pass by Brown was wide of the intended receiver, Nelson Emerson. Burke to Nicolation. He's run into by Dallas Drake, who can be counted on for at least one of those a night. Here's Brown. Moves up to center. Puts it high. Going back to get it to Need. Now Drake with it. Drake's pass that goes all the way down the ice. 21 seconds left in the penalty to Doan. 2 minutes left in the opening period. 2-0. Jets lead. Diddick to Castles. Deneen stopped by Turcotte. Turcotte sends a bouncer all the way down, and back forward is Diddick, and then runs out the penalty to Doan. Diddick deep for Hartford. Gets it to Adam Burt. Gains the line. Flips it over. Tkachuk picks it off. Tkachuk fanned on a pass. Now it goes loose. Tkachuk gets it again and clears it away. Burke, a good puck-handling goaltender. Puts it in behind now to Burt. McCrimmon to Janssens. Janssens looks ahead for Kapanen. Elects to hold on. Janssens trying to go wide on Newman. Flips it rink wide. Chased by Quint. Puck goes behind. Janssens has Newman with him. Newman frees it. Solani and Chase collide. Solani winds up with a puck. Sends it out to center. Kapanen dumps it back into the Jets on 51 seconds left in the opening period. Newman for Tkachuk. Tkachuk can't get by McCrimmon. It goes back to Kapanen to Janssens. Over now to Chase. Backhand. Why Janssens didn't shoot. Here's Solani. Gets it ahead for Shamnov. Shamnov with Tkachuk. Shamnov trying to split the defense. Backhand. And Burke to save the magic of Shamnov. Shamnov with it again. Down deep. Looks out for Tkachuk. Back to Shamnov. Over to Manson. Dumps it in. Burke lost his stick. Kapanen puts it off the glass. And that goes out of play. Well, the next game for the Winnipeg Jets is the third and final of the homestand with Paul Correa and the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim show up. That'll be a 6:30 start. You can call 780-SEAT.
Well, Kurt, as you said, Dallas Drake, he's playing the body very well right now. He gets a punch in the face, but he always goes at his man. And for him to make money, he's got to keep on playing the body. Watch the stick-hand ability of Zamov. He'd go in such close quarters, get around guys, still gets a backhand away. He's so good in close quarters. He's got 1 or 2 or 3 guys around, and he can still go through them.
Here's Diddick in behind his goal. Watch there by Korolev. Sends it off the boards. Then goes all the way down. And back to get it is McIver. 5 seconds left in the period. McIver content to kill them. And the first period is over.
Well, Tim Cheveldae continues to play a very strong game. A big difference here tonight, though, is the team has given him a 2-goal lead, which he hasn't seen in the last couple of games, and that's got to be a real confidence boost for him also.
Up next, Joe Pascucci in conversation with one of the goal-getters, Keith Tkachuk. The score, after 1 period of play, the Winnipeg Jets 2, the Hartford Whalers nothing.
One of life's great rewards is doing the right things right. It's not traveling down the road of compromise. It's an unhurried journey towards fulfillment. And in the places you travel and the people you touch along the way, you've discovered one thing. It's the journey that counts, not the arrival.
Just tell me what it's all about.
Try making love when you may be next. When you can't walk alone in the streets of the city. When you need a woman to protect you. The streets of Winnipeg for one hot week created the hands of Ida. Murder, rape, revenge, and trying to be in love. It used to be simple. Now, who can trust who? The Hands of Ida. Made in Winnipeg, directed by Guy Madden. Sunday, January 21st at 9.
Want to go on a ski holiday this winter, but you're not sure where in the world you want to go ski? Whether you're flying or driving, an expert seeking the super slopes, or the beginner starting from the bottom up ski. Taking the whole family, time off with your bud skis, or maybe you want to go with a group ski. The folks at International Sun and Ski Travel can make all the arrangements so you can relax and have a fun ski. This winter, get a real run for your money. Call International Sun and Ski Travel, the #1 ski vacation specialists in Winnipeg. If the staff is busy, ask for Brewski.
Winter's here, and it's time to ask yourself, does your battery have the juice to get you started? started when you really need it? Your tires have the traction you need for slippery situations. Only Canadian Tire offers MotoMaster batteries and tires to get you going in any situation. All at the everyday low prices you'd expect from Canada's automotive store. Canadian Tire. There's a lot more for your car for a lot less.
2 goals, 41 seconds apart on the power play by Keith Tkachuk and Dave Manson. The Jets lead the Hartford Whalers 2-0 after the first period of play here at the arena. We'll take a look at the Jets' first goal of the game. Teppo Numminen with the shot. And where else has Keith Tkachuk been in the last few games? Right in front of the net. He tips it in. His last 5 goals in the last 3 games have been right from in front of the net. I know if I talked to Eddie Olczyk, he'd say he taught you that.
He taught me everything I know. So, man, he's the man. I just follow his lead.
All right, that is where you have to go to score goals, obviously, to the front of the net. And you obviously been practicing tips, and it's been effective, and so has the power play.
Well, I keep hearing from everybody telling me to go to the net, so I might as well start listening, or everybody will be all over me. But, that's my bread and butter right there. It's, that's where it's got me here so far, and I just got to keep doing that.
I talked to Nelson Emerson before the game. He said to call you Reg because you like the film Slap Shot. Now, are you Reggie Dunlop in the Slap Shot, or are you Oglethorpe?
Oh, I'm Reggie Dunlop. I don't have Ogie Oglethorpe's hair, so I'm more of a Reg Dunlop type guy.
I don't know if many of the fans here in Winnipeg have seen the billboard that's out at Maroons Road in St. James, the No Fear billboard, which says Keith Tkachuk's been called every name in the book except coward. You know what? That billboard's been very accurate this season.
Yeah, especially after the contract was signed. I got called every name in the book, but no, I don't mind. It's I just got to go out and play.
You know, we talked earlier today about the consistency factor for this hockey club. In the last few seasons, that has been the problem, to get both the offense and the defensive sides of the team working at the same time. And in these last few games, you seem to have gotten it.
Yeah, we have. I mean, we've been up and down. We started off pretty well, but then we took it downside like in old ways. And we just got to keep it consistent, play hard every night, play a full 60 minutes, and power play and penalty kills. Special teams got to win the hockey games.
All right, give us a big smile and tell us about how painful that tooth is.
It hurts. It hurts very much.
Okay, but you're not going to get treated until after the game.
Nah, tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow for Keith Tkachuk. He'll get some dental work done. Our thanks to Keith. Good luck the rest of the way. 23 goals now in the season, 22 all of last season in 48 games. He scored his 23rd in 43 so far this season. Coming up next as our Molson Jets hockey telecast continues, we'll speak with Sean Hunter. He's going to look after moving the Winnipeg Jets to Phoenix. The Jets lead the Hartford Whalers 2-0. More to come.
If you're ever stuck for a dinner idea, and you happen to have some leftover chicken in the fridge, just reach for a jar of Uncle Ben's country chicken sauce and try this little idea. Mix the sauce with your cooked chicken, some mushrooms, peas, parsley, top it with puff pastry, and in half an hour, real home-baked chicken pot pie. Uncle Ben's sauces. You really should taste the difference only Uncle Ben's can make. And for more ideas, keep watching.
I see a lot of people that put up with scratch lenses, and a scratch lens means they're not seeing properly, and for me that's a real problem. LensCrafters' new DuraLens can help make that problem go away. This is steel wool on a typical scratch-resistant lens, and this is a DuraLens. No other plastic lens is more scratch-resistant than a DuraLens. Looks great. Only LensCrafters has them, and even these will be ready in about an hour. DuraLenses help me help people see better. I feel really good about that.
LensCrafters, helping people see better, 1 hour at a time.
We plan for the important steps on this road we call life. Planning ahead helps obtain personal wishes and goals, and protects the family from unnecessary hardship. When many families prepare for tomorrow, they also make plans for cemetery and funeral arrangements. Then they can enjoy peace of mind, knowing they've done everything possible today for their family in the future. For a free booklet on planning ahead, contact Memorial Gardens.
Win, win, and win again. Call 988-1995 to win the Easter Seals Great Escape Lottery. Imagine hitting the open road in a brand new GMC Sierra and Deluxe Sportsmaster fifth wheel from Transcona Trailer. Or take 50 grand in cash. 50 grand. Also win weekly in the $1,000 early bird draws. Proceeds help kids with physical disabilities right here in Manitoba. Only 7,500 tickets will be sold at just $40 each. So call 988-1995 now and get ready to win.
Promotional consideration provided by...
Start your day
With Delco's new Freedom 84 battery, it guarantees you 7 years of worry-free starts. The Winnipeg Jets leading the Hartford Whalers 2-0 on power play goals by Keith Tkachuk and Dave Manson. And now joining us is Sean Hunter, the Chief Operating Officer for the new Phoenix hockey team, which is our Jets hockey team. And Sean, welcome to Winnipeg. You were involved in the move of the Quebec Nordiques to Denver. Can you give us sort of the Coles Notes version of moving a National Hockey League franchise?
Well, let's put it this way. I didn't have gray hair before I moved the Nordiques. It was quite a task. We did it in 100 days, so I've got 10 months with this franchise, so I'm excited. It seems like an eternity.
Are the fans in Phoenix excited about this hockey club?
They're very excited. Obviously not as sophisticated as the fans up here, but there's a nice core crowd, and it's our job to grow that over the next few years, and I think we've got a great plan in getting involved with the grassroots and the families and the kids, and I think we're going to have great success.
What are some of the things that you're doing right now to get them educated about hockey and sell some season tickets?
We're working with strategic partners. There's a group called the Desert Youth Hockey Association down there that we'll be partners with, actually taking over their rink, probably building a second sheet of ice and introducing a lot of new clinics and concepts for the kids down there. We're also launching our season ticket campaign next Saturday. Going to get very loud in the market down there and hopefully get from 0 to 60 very fast.
I know you also have to name the hockey team. We understand the Jets are still in the running. We thought the Jets name was staying here.
Well, evidently it's a popular name down there. We've had, I think, over 200 suggestions. There's some pretty wild ones out there, including the Tanya Hardings. Not one we're considering.
She could have been a hockey player.
We'll take her. But we've had a lot of great suggestions. Jets was top 5 vote getter. We're probably 6 to 8 weeks away from naming the team.
All right, will the fans in Phoenix right away accept a team that struggles to win, or does the team have to win right from the start?
No, I think they're excited about having the NHL there, having the very best athletes in the sport come to their town, so I think there's going to be a bit of a honeymoon. The fact that this is a young, competitive team is going to make my job a lot easier. In fact, I told some of our traveling party, if they play like this all the time, they won't need me.
You're enjoying the game tonight, aren't you?
I'm having a great time.
And so are the fans tonight as the Jets lead the Hartford Whalers 2-0. Sean Hunter, thank you very much, and good luck in the move of the Jets to Phoenix, and good luck to hockey next year in the desert. Coming up next on our Molson Jets hockey telecast, we'll tell you what's happening around the National Hockey League on the MTS Out of Town Scoreboard.
Friday, March 1st. You'll believe a human being can fly. Experience the vision, the creativity, and the sensuality of La La La, Human Steps. La La La, Human Steps, from Montreal, one of the foremost contemporary dance companies on the planet. La La La, Human Steps, Friday, March 1st at the Walker Theater. Tickets at Ticketmaster.
Everybody seems to feel the pinch just a little more this time of year.
Andy, I got a turkey sandwich.
Double hamburger, Fred. 2 of them. $2.
That's why McDonald's is offering 2 double hamburgers for only $2. They're just the value break you need after the holidays.
Fred, have a double hamburger.
And
thanks, Andy.
You stay in the spirit of giving.
Have half my turkey.
No.
2 double hamburgers for $2 for a limited time, only at McDonald's.
Fruitcake?
No.
Winter's here, and it's time to ask yourself, does your battery have the juice to get you started when you really need it? Do your tires have the traction you need for slippery situations? Only Canadian Tire offers MotoMaster batteries and tires to get you going in any situation. All at the everyday low prices you'd expect from Canada's automotive store. Canadian Tire, there's a lot more for your car for a lot less.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sonny and Cher.
They say our love won't pay the rent, but at Leon's, you don't pay a cent. Babe. I got you, babe.
It's Leon's legendary Don't Pay a Cent event, where right now you don't pay for 1 year on everything in our showrooms.
I've got flowers. And it ain't spring. And I did not pay a thing.
Leon's, Canada's only furniture superstores.
Time now to get you caught up on what is happening around the National Hockey League, courtesy of MTS. Montreal Canadiens doubling up the Pittsburgh Penguins right now, 4-2. They are playing in the third period. Turner Stevenson with a couple of goals. Good news for the Jets here. Detroit leading Los Angeles 2-1. That score holds up. The Jets win. They move into 5th place in the Western Conference standings. Chicago out in front of Anaheim 2-0. The Mighty Ducks play the Jets on Sunday. Florida continues to struggle on this road trip. They're behind Dallas 4-1. Ken Hitchcock might be on to his first win as an NHL head coach. Buffalo and Calgary, they're just about to get underway. And our score, Keith Tkachuk with his 23rd, Manson with his 4th. The Jets lead Buffalo Hartford 2-0. You're up to date on the NHL courtesy of MTS. Now let's go upstairs, find out their thoughts on this first period. Let's go to Kurt and Kerry.
Kerry, good first period for the Winnipeg Jets and for that power play in particular.
Well, very good period for Winnipeg. They continue to have excellent success on their specialty teams. 2 power play goals, very big contribution there, but also on defense, they did a great job penalty killing.
And they can't always count on a 2-man advantage, so what do you look for happening in the second period?
Well, I think you're gonna look to see the Whalers start stirring things up, getting a little bit feisty. Maurice commented that he hasn't been seeing enough beef being thrown around by his players. Watch to see the Whalers stir things up a bit. Jets just keep on a roll.
Okay, so up next, the Winnipeg Jets and the Hartford Whalers, the face-off for the second period here on CKND Winnipeg TV.
If you're like me, you know the importance of contributing to your RSP. It's one of the most significant financial decisions any of us can make. And that's why you should consider investing with CI mutual funds. At CI, you can choose from a range of 20 Canadian and international funds. And you have the assurance that your RSP will be managed by some of the most respected money managers in the world. Now, your financial advisor knows CI mutual funds. All you have to do is ask.
Play Safeway Score and Win. With a Jet Score on CKND, you could win a set of quality appliances from Tefal, a 20-piece set of Mikasa fine china in the Currents pattern, a Gold Star Start Touch 2 VCR, or a Texas Instruments personal organizer. You could also win a trip for 2 to Mazatlan, Mexico, courtesy of Canadian Holidays, Canada's largest vacation company. Safeway's participating products, Nabob ground roasted coffee, and Hershey's Chip-Its. Score and win at Safeway, today's better way.
Molson Jets Hockey on CKND is brought to you in part by MTS, Canadian Tire, Winnipeg Jeep Eagle, 1430 Ellisette Arena Road, and by McDonald's. Have you had your break today?
In the beginning, there was nothing. But in the darkness, a faint light appeared in the vortex of the abyss. That light intensified and became what we now know to be the center of the universe. The Toronto Maple Leafs. On Wednesday, the Winnipeg Jets' voyage to Toronto will be documented on this station. Brought to you in part by Jim Gauthier.
Yeah, we'll be in the center of the universe, Spock. Next Wednesday, the Jets at the Leafs. And it'll be 6:30 broadcast on CKND. Take a look at that summary of the first period. Keith Tkachuk opened the scoring with one of his now patented deflections of a drive from the blue line taken by Teppo Numminen. Teemu Selanne drew the second assist. And then Dave Manson cruised down the left side, let a shot go that never left the ice. Had a lot on it, and it got by Sean Burke. A power play goal. It's 2-0 Jets. The Jets had shot the Whalers 13-11. Both clubs at full strength to open period 2. Zhamnov and Martins to take the opening face-off. Zhamnov flanked by Tkachuk and Drake. Martins by Emerson and Shanahan. Puck goes back. With it is Glenn in the Whalers off. Puts it ahead for Shanahan. Tipped into the middle. Taken there by Numminen. His pass to Zhamnov. Zhamnov dumps it in. And going back is Brown. Brown puts it around. Zhamnov stops it at the point. Lets it go. Deflected wide. Tkachuk had it knocked away from him. Kept in by Numminen. Shot. Burke the save with Drake cruising in front and nearly taking a piece of it. Zhamnov with it now. Puts it back to Numminen. Approached by Emerson. Gets it to Tkachuk. His pass right side. Drake. Shamrock goes to the goal. Drake puts it in to Kachuk. It goes back down to Quint. Quint shot blocked. Glynn on the right side goes to Emerson. Emerson trying to beat Newman. Emerson puts it over top of the Jet goal. Martin's after it with Drake. It's sent back to center. In with it is Burt. To Sanderson. He dropped it to Deneen. Checked by Turcotte, who flips it out. Back with it is Burt. Burt to Deneen. Deneen takes it over the line. Gets it back to Sanderson. Shot. Deflected. Chevelday save. Korolev goes after the loose puck to Turcotte. Lead pass. Talani couldn't reach it. Here's Burt around. Turcotte holds it at the blue line. Puts it into Solani. To Turcotte. Turcotte to the point. McIver lots of room. Moves in. Lets it go. Hits over top. Deneen. Checked by Solani. Now with it is Burt to Castles. Castles with Burt and Sanderson. Tries to take it himself. Unsuccessfully. It goes back now to Sanderson. He puts it across Deneen. Approached by Korolev. Shot blocked by Manson. Over to Solani. 4-on-3 at center. Here's McIver. Gains the line. Dropped to Turcotte. Turcotte, a rebound. And that was knocked away by the Whalers out to center ice. McIver. Back from Manson. 2 minutes gone in the second period. The Jets lead 2-0. But here's an opportunity for Mikulicin. Moves in. And he didn't get the shot away. Stapleton can't get it out. And play has been called. There's going to be a penalty.
We want to make it perfectly clear. You'll find guaranteed low prices at your Canadian Tire store every day. If you find a better price anywhere, we'll match it. Guaranteed.
Well, we talked about it earlier. Dave Manson taking a risky pass across no man's land, gets picked up by the Whalers and goes right in. And Chevelday comes up with a good save, but Doan puts a little hook on the Whaler player and has to take the 2-minute penalty. But probably Simpson is thinking it's a good penalty on the Jets' part and by Shane Doan.
Well, we'll see that Alexei Zamnov has gone to the Winnipeg Jet dressing room. He comes out of the corner there, and you see Jeff Brown slashes him, and I think he might catch him on the ankle. No, it's his wrist. He goes down, and he was by himself when he did go down, so it seemed like a delayed reaction, but he has gone to the dressing room.
So the Whalers with a man advantage, but Stapleton has the puck for Winnipeg. Stapleton takes it from Emerson, puts it in behind, and with it there is Brown. Brown will try to get this power play on track, gives it to the speedy Robert Cron, who gains the line, tries it for Mikulicin. Back it goes. Here's Brown with some room, moves in, shot. Oh, it just trickled by. Here's Shanahan. Is checked, and it's jumped the distance by the veteran Randy Gillen. Back again it is Cron. 1:24 left in the penalty to the Jets. Doan as Cron works his way out to center. Gets to the line. Trying to go outside. Back Emerson to Brown. Brown into Shanahan. Shanahan takes a look. Cron is in front. Now puts it in deep for Mikulicin. Back to Shanahan. Back to the blue line. Brown. Here's Shanahan. Fired it away wide. Emerson dumps it in deep. Shanahan picks it up again. Into Mikulicin. Cron is in front. Mikulicin to Shanahan. Shanahan to Brown. Brown in deep for Mikulicin. Back to Shanahan. Back to Mikulicin. Backhand. Chevelday. They score! Cron on the power play.
Well, you see on this power play here, Kurt, Hartford worked Jeff Finley. They got Jeff running around, and all of a sudden there, the forward sneaks in behind Teppo Newman. Teppo usually picks the forward up over his shoulder, but in this case here, the Hartford player snuck in behind him to score the goal. But they worked on Finley the whole time, and they had Jeff moving around, and he never really did get set killing this penalty. You can see him throw a punch after the goal, because he knew he was confused on that play, and Hartford's back in the game.
That'll be Cron from Mikulicin and Shanahan on the power play at 3:32, so it's now a 2-1 hockey game. The Jets lead in the second period. With it is Glynn. Glynn tried it for Castles. Puck goes free to Drake. Now Sanderson pokes it in. Deneen goes to the net. Here's Sanderson in front, and Glynn poked it wide. A great opportunity for the Whalers on that 3-on-1, and Glenn missed it. Here's Shamnov trying to get by, puts it in deep, and back with it is Castles to Deneen. Deneen's pass for Glenn. Glenn works it to center, dumps it in. Back with it is Manson. Drive for Drake beyond him. Glenn goes for it. Glenn chased by Drake. Now Shamnov against Sanderson. 5 of them battle for it at the Whaler line. Sanderson frees it, takes it to center, takes the long shot. Cheveldae drops to Manson. 4.5 gone in the second. 2-1. The Jets leading at home against the Whalers. Burt winds up on top of Drake, and there is going to be a penalty to Adam Burt. So the Jets, 2 for 3, get a 4th power play chance.
In a world all its own.
Over 60,000 businesses across Canada have Advantage 800 numbers. They generated sales of over $1 billion last year. Now just imagine if that system ever went down. Thankfully,
Gilbert Steel, Sales Division.
it won't. Advantage 800. Everything in business should be this reliable.
Well, Adam Burt has just taken a 2-minute penalty on a very dangerous hit. It starts out with Manson moving the puck up the ice. Drake lets the puck go, and he's caught in between. Drake's caught with his body about a foot away from the boards. Very difficult to brace himself for the hit. Gets the hit from behind. A very dangerous play on Adam Burt's part, and results in a penalty.
So the Jets send out Shamnov, Kachuk, and Solani with McIver and Newman in the power play. Here's Newman to McIver. He retreats to organize. Now starts out. Gives to Shamnov, to Kachuk. Kachuk puts it in behind. Solani. Kachuk. It's at the side of the net. Janssens can't clear. Newman holds it in. Gives to Kachuk. Kachuk trying to work it by Brown. Puts it behind the net. Sent back to the point. McIver puts it to Solani. Solani across. Here's Shamnov. Tried to beat Kachuk. The pass was broken up by Glenn. And the rebound. The puck is cleared away. Back it goes to Newman. Newman gets up to the Whaler line. Dropped it to Solani. Solani in deep. Here's Kachuk after a loose puck. Emerson trying to knock it free. It goes to Diddick. Around now for Shanahan. Shanahan has some time. Tried the pass rink wide. It'll go all the way down. 1 minute left in that penalty to Adam Burt. 2-1 the Jets lead. 5.5 gone in the second period. Norm McIver. Alexei Shamnov. Shamnov gains the line. Solani goes to the net. Shamnov centers it. Shanahan has it. Tried it for Emerson. Puck free. Picked up Solani to Kachuk. His centering effort. Now Solani comes up with it again. Gives to Newman into McIver. But there's some adventure in front of the net. McCrimmon and Shamnov, the main combatants, although Shanahan and Kachuk, the power forwards, are there as well.
Well, Kurt, what you'll see here is McCrimmon just slashes Zamnoff off to the right of the Hartford net. Really gives him a two-hander. And then Zamnoff comes back and does not put up with it all and hacks McCrimmon right back. And good for Alexei. He goes right back after McCrimmon. But Brad McCrimmon had slashed Zamnoff earlier on, and Alexei basically was just standing up for himself, which you like to see him do. He's a superstar with abilities, and you don't want players taking cheap shots at you. And he's having a tough second period, going off injured, and he's been starting to run at some guys. And Alexei needs to do this. Play with a little bit of anger. It would help him.
So McCrimmon and Shamnov both go off for slashing at 5:58. The Jets retain the regular man advantage with Burt having 39 seconds to serve. Out comes Turcotte, Korolev, and Stapleton on the power play, backed by Quint and Manson. Quint mishandled. Castles trying to take it away. Castles frees himself of Quint, spins, centers, and Korolev comes back for Winnipeg. Tried it for Stapleton. It goes all the way down. Diddick is back. Stapleton in pursuit. Wrapped around for Castles. Stopped at the point. Manson in behind the net. Brown for Castles. Gives to Deneen to center ice. Gives to Castles. Castles stops trying to dump it in, and Korolev with it. Over for Quint. Pass goes by him. Quint goes after it. As Glenn is waiting, Quint gets in across the line. Dumps it in deep. Glenn behind the net. Burton is out of the penalty box. The club's at full strength. Korolev steals the puck. Gets it over now to Turcotte. Turcotte's pass goes onto the stick of Deneen. Taken out by Korolev. Stapleton to Turcotte. Trying to work by Nicolation. Dumps it in deep. And back forward is Glenn. Looks ahead to Featherstone. His pass turned around by Finlay. Back to get it, Nicolation. 7:05 gone in the second period. The Jets lead the Whalers 2-1. Smith can't get it out. Here's King. In deep now for Doan. Looking for Eastwood. Pass picked off and Featherstone. Off the boards to center ice. Smith dumps it into Jet territory. Shoveled it way out of the goal. Slides it behind to Finlay. Spots Doan. Pass goes by him. Burt puts it in, and Shannon has it for Winnipeg. That's in all the way down the ice. Going back is Brown. It's in ahead to Burt. Burt to Smith. Smith watched by McIver, who takes him out of the play momentarily. McKenzie goes after the puck. It goes across to Manson. To Gillen. To Eastwood. To Gillen. Here's Gillen with room. Randy Gillen a breakaway with McKenzie. The pass. And McKenzie was unable to convert. A two-man breakaway. Gillen and McKenzie. Now Gillen has it again. He puts it across in front, and Eastwood was hauled down. Smith comes up with it, and he dumps it away. Back to Canada's Manson. 8:16 into the second. 2-1 Jets. Here's Glenn. Back in his zone. Gets it to Diddick. Dumped it in. Going back, McIver. McIver around for Gillen. Gillen trying to clear. It goes to Manson. Gets it to center. Glenn has it there. Fires it back in. Manson with it. Kelly Chase with an eye on Dave Manson. Manson looks ahead to center ice. The pass goes to Gillen. He dumps it in. And going back, Diddick. But Burke dumps it out to center. And Solani is there. Solani's pass goes to Korolev. Korolev moves in, down into the corner against Glenn. He centers. Diddick. Got it too far for Martins. That'll go all the way down. They're playing this second period straight time. Here's Newman. Gets the pass ahead to Solani. He's at center ice. Here's Solani trying to split the defense. Went down. Puck goes deep. And there's going to be a hooking penalty. So the Jets give them that advantage when we return.
It's one thing to claim that there's nothing more reliable than MTS Advantage 800 service. That over 99.99% of all calls on our long-distance network get delivered to their destinations. But what does that really mean to you and your business? Well, it means that the only way you're likely to miss a call is if you don't answer it. Advantage 800. Everything in business should be this reliable.
Books make you smart. CKND Kids TV wants you to join the Jets Readers Club and collect bookmarks from all your favorite Jets.
Popovich, chased by King.
Collect these bookmarks.
Doan gets it back again. Here's Doan, works in, shot, saved by T-Ball.
The more you read, the more you know. Ask your teacher how you can join the Jets Readers Club today. Read books.
Wow, we see Jeff Brown in the penalty box. He's off for hooking at 9:19. You'll see that Timo Solani, the great speed he has, but also a great speed. He has a good hand-eye coordination. He knocks that puck out of there. Watch how quick. 1, 2, 3 steps. He knows he's by the defenseman. As soon as he gets even one of those defensemen, they have to pull him down. But he recognized as soon as he got at center ice, all he needed was 1 or 2 or 3 steps, and he was by Brown. Brown had to tug him down.
So the Jets gain the man advantage. 2 for 4 on the power play. Tkachuk is out between Chamnov and Solani. Newman and McIver, who has it now. He gives to Solani, who lost it to Castles. And it's tipped all the way down the ice. Back again, it is Newman. Nearing the midway mark of the second period, the Jets leading it 2-1. All 3 goals in a hockey game have come with a man advantage. McIver to Chamnov. He dumps it in. Tkachuk goes after it in the corner, puts it out in front to Chamnov, to Newman, to McIver, to Solani. Solani takes it deep, puts it back now to McIver, over to Newman. His shot. Solani in the corner after it, beat to it now by Dineen. Dineen makes some room, then he's checked. Now Tkachuk back at his line, gives to Chamnov. Chamnov, a quick spin, gets it ahead now to Tkachuk. He gains the line. Tkachuk to Solani. Solani back for, I'm not sure. Now Newman at center ice. Newman works it up to the Hartford line, gets over. Puck goes to Glenn. Glenn puts it high, and that's out of play.
Jets, you can see on this power play, are over-handling it a little bit. They're trying to get set up, and again, they end up getting a little bit too fancy. The puck comes out in front, they get it back, and they're moving it around really well. They got to go back to the basics. Just get some shots on net, get big Keith Tkachuk in front, making the tip-ins. That's keeping it simple, and that's what's been successful for the Jets to date. Hartford's doing a very good job keeping the Jets to the periphery of the play and getting the puck out of their zone in a hurry.
55 seconds left in that power play opportunity for the Jets. Turcotte is now out between Korolev and Stapleton. Manson is back with Quint, the second unit, which did account for the second power play goal. Manson with it now. Gets it ahead to Korolev. Gains the line. Puts it in deep for Stapleton. Stapleton slides it back for Turcotte. Turcotte to Stapleton, to the corner. Korolev looking for Quint. Gives it to Manson. Manson shot! Burke covers up. Then went through about 3 players, including, I believe, Stapleton and Turcotte. And Burke was able to follow and cover it.
We'll see in this shot here, as Kerry was saying, Winnipeg Jet defensemen, they've been successful on the power play when they shoot the puck. Look how quick Manson just snaps the puck. He doesn't come all the way back. He doesn't take the big slap shot. He just snaps it. Look at the snap shot from the blue line. That takes a lot of nerve. I don't think I'd ever try that in this day and age. But Charlie's got such a great shot. Dave Manson's got such a good shot. He gets it right on net, and that's a good snapshot.
26 seconds left in the penalty. I'd like to take this opportunity to wish all the best to Stan Travell, who's the regular press box host, looks after the Pampered media here. He's at Seven Oaks Hospital recovering. Get back, big guy. We need you here. Puck in behind the net. Glenn dumps it out to center ice. And with it is Quint. Back into his own zone. Gets it now to Korolev. He lost it to Janssens. Janssens gets up to the line. Korolev looks into the middle. Gets it over to Quint. Quint moves in. Throws it in front for Turcotte. He was wrapped up by Glenn, and the Whalers clear it away. Cheveldae to Korolev. Off him all the way down. Doan chases it deep. Doan gets there before Burt. Gives to Eastwood. Eastwood waits. Gives to Doan. He lost it in turn to Dineen. Dineen to Castles. Castles gets over the line. Dineen goes to the net. The puck doesn't get to him. It's taken instead by Eastwood. Eastwood rink wide. His pass knocked down. McCrimmon gives to Burt. Burt to Castles. Castles sends it ahead. Finley. Checked by Dineen, and that's out of play. 2-1. The Jets lead. 8 minutes left in the second.
Day after day, you see the same thing. Car and truck buyers driving all over Manitoba looking for great deals, only to end up at the home of the big buy, Jim Goche. And then they ask, how do you always have the best prices? And how can you sell your cars and trucks for so much less than everybody else? Well, the answer is easy. Volume! If you don't come see the big guy today, he can't save you any money.
I'm McPhillips, north of Inkster. Kids TV, CKND, Safeway, and Coca-Cola want you to see the most romantic story ever brought to life on ice as Walt Disney's World on Ice presents Beauty and the Beast.
Save $3 on tickets to select performances of Beauty and the Beast with coupons on Coca-Cola 12-packs at Canada Safeway stores. Courtesy of Kids TV, CKND, Safeway, and Coca-Cola. Get your coupon today and see Walt Disney's World on Ice presents Beauty and the Beast, playing Winnipeg Arena January 17th through 21st.
Well, next month on the 10th and 11th, the Safeway Select Provincial Men's Curling Championships take place at the Keystone Center in Brandon, and CKND will take you there for all the action. You can join Darren Millard and Joe Pascucci, along with Don Finkminer and Kathy Gauthier. The head assistant coach, Barry Byrne, he and Randy Carlisle alternate behind the bench alongside Terry Simpson, and that means Carlisle is up in the press box with a headset on tonight. Here's King. Fires it down into the Whaler zone. Burke lets it go by. Eastwood in deep now for Doan. Doan trying to free himself of Martins with Eastwood in front. Doan fights off the check. Here's Doan. Shot not, but John, it went wide. Down with it is Quint. Down deep for Eastwood. 2-1, the Jets lead in a second. Doan fighting off a check. Trying to work it out. It goes to Eastwood. Now it's picked up by Martins. Martins can't get out. Lynn hands it off to Brown, who dumped it to center, and Quint with it there. Quint is stopped. Here's Shanahan. Gains the line, puts it back. Emerson to Martins. King trying to knock it out. That goes to center ice. With it is Eastwood. Eastwood spinning. Burke gets in the way, takes it in behind. Tried it for Shanahan. Shanahan's pass for Burt. Burke to Nicolation, to Emerson. His shot blocked, and back with it is Manson. Dave Manson with it for Winnipeg. Just got by Nicolation, now gets it ahead to Drake. Drake gets over to the line as Jemnov went in advance. Drake has to circle back, takes it way back, dumps it to center. That's ground by Cron. He'll circle, and now he gains some speed, trying to go through 3 Jets unsuccessfully. Drake gives to McIver. McIver can't clear. Here's Nicolation. His shot blocked by Manson. Nicolation back to the point. Brown. Shot wide. McIver with it for Winnipeg. Gets it ahead to Drake. Drake is checked. Cron dumps it to the line, hit the linesman. And back with it is Manson. Manson just dumps it all the way down. Back forward is Brown. Well, this is your traditional no-hitter, this one.
Well, I see the importance of these games right now with the Winnipeg Jets having played 42 games and have 41 points. The importance of the game tonight is a win. They jump by St. Louis and Los Angeles. They've got a couple of games coming up with Anaheim. Games like against your own division, you've got to win. Winnipeg Jets are in a great position to, to put some distance behind the teams behind them. They can't afford to lose games like tonight against Hartford.
Not a whole lot of body contact tonight, but there was a significant hit in the first period by Dallas Drake, and that could well be our crunch of the game, selected by Joe Pascucci on the post-game show, brought to you by Vernos Auto Body, 160 Higgins Avenue in Winnipeg. Now with it, Darryl Shannon for Solani by him. That goes out to center ice, and with it is Chase. Chase dumps it into the Jet zone. Chevelday leaves it behind the net for Shannon. He gives it to Solani. Solani manages to poke it to center ice. Solani after it. McCrimmon got there first and whipped it up and out of play.
Well, Kerry, I don't know about you, but you're getting a funny feeling right now. I just don't like the way the game's going. This is ideal for the Hartford hockey clubs. Being down 2-1, they're just working hard out there. I just don't like the feel of the game the way it is right now.
Well, it's a typical 2-1 hockey game right now. When you see a score like this, it's very difficult for that team that's got the winning edge right now to maintain it. The Whalers are starting to take over. The Jets are struggling a little bit on defense, but they've got to get that composure back. Otherwise, you're going to see the Whale keep coming on.
Here's Solani trying it for Turcotte. Broken up by Glenn. Finlay dumps it in. Brown back to get it. 17-17, the shots on goal, 2-1 the score. The puck goes all the way down into the Jet zone. Finlay gets there to touch it. And it's icing against Hartford.
This has happened before, Kurt. The Winnipeg Jets, instead of burying clubs that are below them, they get caught up into a hockey game with them. You know, they have more skill in Hartford, and they're just not putting clubs like Hartford away early in the game to make Hartford think they can't win. Hartford now believes they're in the game. And with a goaltender like Sean Burke back there, Winnipeg Jets don't want Hartford in the game because Burke will keep them in there. And then Winnipeg Jets, to try to get it going, it's very difficult to come back.
Andrew Castles and Mike Stapleton to face off to the left of Sean Burke. Stapleton wins it cleanly to Quint. Quint slides it in behind. Burke with it there. And that goes out of play. In a second intermission, Joe Pascucci will be speaking with Jeff Sanderson of the Hartford Whalers. We'll also have a Newsline update, courtesy Barry Burns, Dirt Devil Trivia, and, of course, the MTS scoreboard.
Jeff Sanderson, you know, he's a goal scorer, and he's got to put the puck in the net for him. He's rumored to be traded. Of course, every year he is, but he's got so much skill, he's just not getting the points that he should right now.
Here's Glenn. Gets it over to Sanderson. Doan cuts him off. Doan trying to dump it in, hit by Glenn. Glenn puts the pass across to Deneen. Deneen trying to swing through. Can't. Stapleton brings it back for Winnipeg as Doan goes to the net. Stapleton trying to throw it there. That was blocked. Puck goes into the corner to Castles. Castles puts it in behind, and Glenn lead pass to Castles. He's got Deneen with him. The pass for Deneen broken up by Newman. Deneen back, slides it deep. Brown for Sanderson, and that's over 2 lines. Just under 5 minutes left in the second period. The Jets lead it 2-1.
Day after day, you see the same thing. Car and truck buyers driving all over Manitoba looking for great deals, only to end up at the home of the big buy, Jim Goche. And then they ask, how do you always have the best prices? And how can you sell your cars and trucks for so much less than everybody else? Well, the answer is easy. Volume! If you don't come see the big guy today, he can't save you any money.
On McPhillips, north of Inkster. The exclusive world of investment banking.
Marty, don't let him lock me in.
The high rollers.
30 seconds.
Where fortunes
Never admit you're wrong.
are won and lost.
Even if I am?
By the touch of a button.
Hold the course, Steady and true. We'll get there sooner or later, I guess.
Starring Sonia Smith, David Cubitt, and Bruce Gray. Traders, premiering February 1st on the CanWest Global System.
Well, 2 weeks from Sunday, CKND is where you'll find Super Bowl 30. Be sure to join Joe Pascucci, Darren Millard, and Keith McMahon as they broadcast live from Boogie's Sports Restaurant and Bar for CKND Sports Line's Super Bowl Party of the Year. And our grossing about no invitation was answered.
Wasn't that nice? We did get an invitation. We appreciate it, and I was very thoughtful of the guys at Boogie's.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Here's Manson at the blue line. Tried it for Drake. Puck goes in deep. Back for it now is Martin. Puts it off the glass. Shanahan sends it rink wide. In with it is Emerson. Emerson dumps it down into the jet zone. Jamnov, deep to get it. Tried it for Kachuk. It went by him. Now Diddick leaned into gently by Drake. It's kicked ahead. Here's Martins. Martins puts it back. Bird comes up with a huge shot. Hit the side of the net. Now Kachuk trying to clear. It's kept in momentarily. There's Jamnov looking for Drake. The lead pass. He's got to break away. In goes Drake. The save by Bird. And Drake ran into the net. Play has been called.
Dallas Drake showing real good speed here. Breaking in, being a left-hand shot. He gets his body between Burton and himself. Burton puts the axe to him. Drake can't get the shot off. It goes hard into the net, but good speed by Drake. We'll see just inside the blue line. This is where Jets are trying to clear the puck. They're having trouble. Hartford defenseman can't control the puck. Good pass up to Drake. Good speed. But here comes the slash right across the shoulders. Ouch. That hurts.
That is penalized for that. He'll go to the penalty box. 15:47, Adam Bird. So Drake looks on and sees if the power play can make it count. Kachuk, Solani, Shamnov, Newman, and then McIver. Norm McIver's added a huge dimension to the Jets on the blue line.
He's been a fantastic addition. He adds that skill level that the Jets have been missing to move the puck, see the game in front of them. He's been a real quarterback on the power play ever since he's joined the club.
Jets have scored now 12 power play goals in 5 games, less than 5 games in 96. Are they becoming too dependent on the power play, Ted?
Well, they are. The guys sitting on the bench just wait for Kachuk and Zamnoff and Solani to score the goals. And right now, it's a very quiet hockey game. We saw the last couple of shifts where King and Doan are trying to get something going by throwing the body checks out here. But this is where the Winnipeg Jets stars like Solani and these guys, they have to score the goals. They've got the ability to do it, and this would take the pressure off the Jets if they could get a 3-1 lead. Hartford doesn't have the ability to score a lot of goals, so this power play has got to get active.
Jansen's, Castles, Didick out there along with Brown, the penalty killers. Newman drives it in. Burke lets it go to the corner. Kachuk has it there, puts it back to the point to McIver. Kachuk heads toward the net. McIver gets it over to Newman. Newman into Shamnov. Kachuk stationed in front. Shamnov takes a look, winds it up, puts it over now to McIver. McIver takes it deep. Here's McIver. Looks at Shamnov. Feeds him the puck. Over now Newman. Back to Shamnov. Into McIver. Kachuk still in front. Back to Shamnov. Shamnov shot. Burke kicks it away. Solani knocked it behind. Didick trying to get away from Kachuk. Can't get it by Shamnov. It goes instead to Brown. To Jansen. Takes his time and dumps it out. Chevelday leaves it there. And here comes McIver. 1:07 left in the man advantage. McIver gets to the line. But he made a little sidestep there, and that threw his mates offside.
The enthusiasm's not there right now. When it went back into the Winnipeg Jets end, you had Kachuk and Zamnoff just kind of lollygagging back there, really not with it. When they were flowing on this power play, they got back there, they circled, and they came up the ice as a 5-man group. Right now what's happening, here's McIver, he brings it up by himself, the forwards are behind, and they're just not using each other the way they were before. You see Kachuk is paying the price in front of the net, but still there's no shots coming from the point, as Kerry Wilson's point out. You got to have those defensemen shooting the puck.
Well, all 3 Jet forwards looked a little tired during that brief break, but they remain out there, so they've been out now 1 minute and 2 seconds on this power play. McIver in behind his goal. Now starts up the middle, gets towards center, gives it to Shamnov. Shamnov trying to work it in, gets it over to Kachuk. Kachuk back to the point, Newman gives to Kachuk. Kachuk back to Newman. Newman tries it for Shamnov. Emerson knocked it away. Shanahan gives chase, trying to get by McIver. Now let's follow it up. Here's Emerson, looks to Glenn, nice shot. Rebound, another shot. And the save Chevelday. Here's Emerson with it. His shot goes wide. It's McCrimmon with it now. He dumps it in. McIver goes back. The Jets have had the same personnel for 2 minutes, and they're exhausted. McIver to Newman. Newman back to McIver. McIver to Newman. A hit for Kachuk. Kachuk gets to center. Rink wide for Stapleton. Burt and Solani are there. Here's Brown. Puts it across. Late pass, Nicolation. Gives it to Cron. Cron to Burt. Burt with Cron 2-on-1. Here's Burt's shot. Rebound. Chevelday covers up as the rebound appeared to go off a leg.
Well, this isn't what the Jets have been looking for. They were looking to get some momentum here instead. Just like Kirk said, they got caught tired on the change. Their number 1 line was out there long. Adam Burt comes in, 1-on-1 on Chevelday. Lucky that he continues to stand tall. He makes a great save, but you see Adam Burt there from the blue line in. He's all on his own, 1-on-1. That shouldn't happen, especially with the Jets coming off the tail end of their power play. The momentum changes very quickly. Tim Chevelday continues to stand very big and make the big save. That's what they've been counting on, and this is Game 3 where he continues to come up with the big save when the team needs it.
Nicolation and Gillen to the left of Chevelday. Nicolation wins it. McCrimmon to Burt. Traffic in front. The shot. Rebound. They score. In and out. The light's on. It's 2-2.
Well, we're seeing the goal here. The Jets' enthusiasm is gone. Well, now they've got a player in front of the net. He turns around, and we get a goal here by Kevin Smith, but he can stand in front of the net like a Chuck does. Winnipeg Jets have lost that enthusiasm. They're playing the big line so much, all the other guys haven't had a chance to play, and Hartford slowly getting their confidence.
So it's 2-2. Burt in his own zone. Slides it across to McCrimmon. Back to Purdy. Bobbled it. Doan moves in. Takes it down to the corner. Knocks Burt down. Doan comes up with a puck. And Braun was felled in front of the net. And the most guilty party out there is Chris King by all appearances, and he's the man who'll go to the penalty box. 18:25 is the time of that penalty to Chris King, so the Whalers have come from a 2-0 deficit to even things up in this second period. Now have a man advantage with just a minute and a half left in a period.
Well, Coach Simpson knows a game like this is going to happen once in a while, the Winnipeg Jets. He knew the day before the game that it's mental for the Winnipeg Jets. They play down to the Hartford level. Now that the Winnipeg Jets are in this type of game, for them to be successful from now for the rest of the year, they need some goals from other guys rather than Kachuk and Zamnoff and Solani. So now it's up to some of the other forwards. You know, you got to get something from Eastwood, something from King, something from Doan. This is where these other guys have to chip in now and become part of the hockey club.
Castles is out with Shanahan up front on the power play along with Sanderson. Emerson is back with Brown. Brown behind his goal. Gives to Sanderson in flight on the left wing. Gains the line. Sanderson can't get by Manson. Shanahan's pass broken up. And back with it is Brown. 1:17 left in the period. Here's Castles with it. Castles to Shanahan. Shanahan with Castles going to the net. The pass just too far. Here's Sanderson in front for Emerson. It was cleared by Gillen. Burke waiting with 57 seconds left in the period. 1:20 left in the penalty to Jet captain Chris King. Here's Nelson Emerson. His pass broken up. Brown missed it. Here's Dallas Drake, another breakaway. Drake goes in, shot. And again, the save by Burke.
Well, this is a situation here where Jeff Brown of the Whalers doesn't want to take a gamble. He goes for the bouncing puck and misses it. Dallas Drake got all the momentum and speed that he's going to need. Takes it right in, takes the first shot, puts the binders on, and goes after it a little bit more of that tenacious Dallas Drake, but can't get the puck past Burke. See it again, Dallas Drake carrying the puck in here, being chased by Jeff Brown. Takes the shot and goes for the 5-hole, but Burke closes up the pads and makes the save.
22-22, the shots, 2-2 the score in the last minute of period 2. Drake trying to roll it in, did. Burke puts it in behind. And now Emerson will try to get the power play in gear as he slides out to center ice, gives it to Nicolation. He tried it back for Cron. Cron poked it in. Nicolation's pass. Shanahan couldn't reach. Shanahan looks in front at Cron. Elects to feed Emerson at the point. He shot. Save Chevrolet. Rebound. Another save. Another rebound. Another save by Chevrolet. Now Manson takes it in the corner. Lead pass. With it is Eastwood. 10 seconds in the period. Eastwood cuts in front. He shot. Burke the save. Drake and Cron go after it. It's grabbed by Emerson. He won't have time. To Nicolation. Long shot. And the period draws to a close.
Well, Tim Chevrolet doing the job he has to do. He's making the saves. His defense been hard, helping him out that much, so much. Here we go. Jimmy Chevrolet right in front. He makes one key save. Here's the rebound. Jets don't clear it. Here's another shot. He sees it coming, makes another save, gets back on his feet. Look at the strength in his legs, how quick he got back up there. He made 2 or 3 saves off the rebounds, and usually that was what hurt Timmy the last couple of games.
Up next, Joe Bascucci will be speaking with Jeff Sanderson, the top scorer on the Hartford Whalers. The score after 2 is the Jets 2, the Whalers 2.
Your Goldeyes are back for another summer of exciting professional baseball action. Be in the stands as the Fish battle their Northern League opponents, including new teams, the Fargo Redhawks and Madison Black Wolf. Don't miss 1 minute of entertainment Goldeye style with Goldie, special entertainment acts, and free giveaways. 44-game season tickets as low as $132. 7-game mini packs of our best games for just $21. This summer, catch Fish Fever.
What happened in there?
The judge closed the hearing for good reason. That's all I can say.
They're getting the wire service and the film of you and the underage girl was fake. Any comments?
He's charming, charismatic, knows how to play the camera.
When he's acting. I swear to God, I didn't kill her. You gotta believe me. My believing you is irrelevant.
Teddy, I had sex with her. That doesn't make me a murderer.
Folks, I said earlier the tape was a phony. Now maybe you'll believe me.
Murder 1. Monday at 8 p.m. on CKND, Winnipeg TV.
These days, it's not easy to hold on to your hard-earned dollars. But Zellers has a law that's on your side. It's the law that gives you the right to the lowest possible price. And here's proof. Get an 8-roll pack of Royale bathroom tissue, only $2.77. Or save on a 3-pack of BASF videotape, just $8.47. Zellers, where the lowest price is the law every day.
Walt Disney's World on Ice Beauty and the Beast trivia. Name 5 characters from Beauty and the Beast. Answer any 2 trivia questions, then drop off your entry at the Beauty and the Beast barrel at St. Vital Center for your chance to win tickets courtesy of CKND Kids TV at St. Vital Center.
You dirty girl.
If you haven't tuned into Frasier lately,
You bad boy.
here's what you're missing.
Frasier, Tuesday at 8 p.m. on CKND, Winnipeg TV.
Robert Cron early in the period on a power play, and Kevin Smith late in the period. Hartford Whalers now tied with the Winnipeg Jets at 2 after 40 minutes. Now joining us is Whalers veteran Jeff Sanderson. And Jeff, first of all, good period for Hartford, bouncing back from that early 2-0 deficit.
Yeah, that was a big period for us. We had a letdown a couple nights ago in Calgary, where we battled back, tied the game, and we've done it again tonight. And hopefully we've learned from our mistakes in Calgary, and we can come out with this one tonight.
I think you must be one of the few NHL players born in the Northwest Territories. You were born in Hay River. Where exactly is that?
Hay River's right at the southern tip of the Great Slave Lake. I was born there, but I lived about 60 miles north of there in the town of Pine Point.
And someone's telling me today that Pine Point no longer exists as a community.
Well, it was a mining community, and when the mine shut down, basically they just bulldozed the town. A couple years later, sold off the houses for, dirt cheap and trailered them out of there.
What about your season so far? Would you comment on that?
Well, it's been a struggling season, I think, for everybody individually, and obviously for the team as well. No one's quite where they should be right now. Our power play's really struggling and holding us back right now.
Is that because in some respects to the new ownership, new coach you've had this year, and the talk that the team might be moving at the end of the season?
No, I don't think that really affects our power play that much, but it's all that off-ice stuff, we can't really worry too much about. All we can do is worry about our power play and what we can do out there. And we got the players that should be able to produce out there, and it's just not happening right now.
Yeah, right now, and this team has missed the playoffs the last 3 seasons. I'm sure you don't want to represent Canada any more than you have to at the World Hockey Championship.
That's right. I've had enough going overseas and playing. I haven't been to the playoffs in 4 years now, and the people in Hartford are really itchy, and it's a really big season for Hartford, with all the talk of moving and stuff. We have to, create some excitement and get some people in the stands and, obviously make the playoffs.
Well, it was a pretty exciting period for the fans back in Hartford as the Whalers have tied the Jets at a score of 2. Our thanks to Jeff Sanderson. Good luck on the season ahead. Coming up next on our Molson Jets hockey telecast, we'll have some Dirt Devil trivia and a CKND Newsline update with Barry Burns. The Jets and the Hartford Whalers tied at 2, 20 minutes still to come. This is your Molson Jets hockey telecast.
A firm, flat stomach doesn't always come naturally. We can all use some help. Introducing the Ab Toner, a portable device designed to tone, trim, and strengthen your stomach muscles. Easy to use. Slip in your toes, adjust strap to right length, and place bar over your knees. You're now locked into position, targeting only your stomach muscles. Watch this. Doing the crunch will strengthen and tone upper stomach muscles. Hands at your side, do the reverse crunch. You're now toning and strengthening the lower abdominal muscles. With Ab Toner, you're always locked in position, working only the stomach muscles. Do the oblique squeeze and watch those dreaded love handles disappear. Ab Toner, a must for your home, office, or when traveling. Use as directed. In 30 to 40 days, you'll lose inches off your waist, and we guarantee a firmer, flatter stomach. Ab Toner, complete with instructional video and direction booklet. Only $19.99 from K-Tel. Available at Zellers, Kmart, Home Hardware, True Value, Co-op stores, and other major retailers.
Factoids from Advance. During the JWC at Advance, you can still choose long-term financing from 3 months to 3 years. Guaranteed best price on quality brand name electronics or your money back. Plain and simple.
Since people first started filling up with Mohawk's ethanol-blended gasoline made with prairie grain, over 150 million pounds of harmful tailpipe emissions have been prevented from going into our air. Mohawk, Mother Nature's gas station.
Here are some of the stories making news tonight. A mountain of debt threatens to destroy another Winnipeg pro sports franchise. Officials say there's just 2 months to save the Blue Bombers. Newsline's David Giroux will have a report after the hockey game. 2 Fort Alexander men are nailed for killing black bears for their gallbladders. A suspicious fire on William Avenue this afternoon has fire officials thinking arson. Manitoba natives stage a downtown protest. They want better medical care. Drugs are still a problem among teenagers. Their drugs of choice: marijuana and hashish. And if you're one who has problems getting comfortable in a dentist chair, be with us after the hockey game. Newsline's Nicole Forrest has the newest technology. All this and more along with Stan Kubicek's weekend weather forecast on Newsline following Molson Jets hockey on CKND Winnipeg TV.
Play Safeway's Score and Win. With a Jet Score on CKND, you could win an IBM Aptiva multimedia computer, a GE Spacemaker 2 microwave oven, Dirt Devil's MVP and Dust Devil from Royal Appliance, or $300 in MasterCard traveler's checks from the Bank of Montreal. You can also win a trip for 2 to Mazatlan, Mexico, courtesy of Canadian Holidays, Canada's largest vacation company. Safeway's participating products, Mott's Clamato, and Safeway Select Indulgence Cookies. Score and win at Safeway, today's better way.
When winter winds blow cold, driving can be a perilous proposition. Introducing the handy little de-icer mitt from SuperTech. Iced up windows are a real pain and can make winter mornings miserable. Simply put de-icer mitt in the microwave 1 to 1.5 minutes on high, and you're ready to take on old man winter. It's that simple. No more hacking and scraping. De-icer mitt, a great gift idea, and it's only from SuperTech.
De-icer mitt is available now at Walmart.
Dirt Devil presents Red Hot Trivia. Brought to you by Dirt Devil, makers of the MVP vacuum. Nothing escapes the power of a Dirt Devil. Can you name the only team to have 3 consecutive first overall picks? We'll have the answer right after this.
We're proud to announce that this model not only passed that famous ball bearing test, it surpassed it. It's the Dirt Devil MVP with maximum vacuum power. Just think what it can do in your home.
Put the power of an upright in the palm of your hand with the Dirt Devil hand vac. It's lightweight, powerful, and has a revolving brush to deep clean any surface. Put it to work for you, and you'll see why nothing escapes the power of a Dirt Devil.
Can you name the only team to have 3 consecutive first overall picks? Need a hint on this one? Well, none of the players are still on the team. In the late 80s and early 90s, the Quebec Nordiques had 3 first overall picks in the NHL draft. In the 1989 draft, the Nords picked the first ever European player chosen first overall. Matt Sundin went on to play 4 seasons with Quebec before being traded to Toronto. In 1990, Quebec selected a tough goal-scoring winger from the Cornwall Royals. Owen Nolan scored 113 goals for Quebec, including 1991-92 when he scored 42 goals and 72 points. The Nordiques' final first overall pick will be remembered for a long time by hockey fans.
From the Oshawa Generals of the OHL, Eric Lindros.
Eric Lindros was picked first in the 1991 draft, but never played a game for Quebec. He was dealt to Philadelphia, where he has become one of the most dominant players in the NHL. The Quebec Nordiques, the last team to have 3 consecutive first overall picks. Another red-hot trivia. Brought to you by Dirt Devil, makers of the MVP vacuum. Nothing escapes the power of a Dirt Devil.
Promotional consideration provided by Optex Binoculars. Superior quality, deluxe features, excellent value, all backed by an industry-leading no-fault warranty. See your retailer today.
Thoughts on that second period with Kurt and Ted.
Well, prior to the game, Ted Irvin said the Jets could be ripe for the picking. If they've been reading their own clippings and the way that second period went, you could be dead on.
Winnipeg Jets have let the Hartford Whalers back in this hockey game. They had them on the run for a while. They had the power play, but they didn't take advantage of their own power plays. And now what's happened, Winnipeg Jets have used Solani and Kachuk and Zamnov so much, they're dead tired. The other guys haven't played, and all of a sudden now Hartford realizes in their game. After 2 periods, Hartford, when they're tied, are a 4-1 record, plus they've outscored the opposition 33-32. So Hartford believes they can win this game now.
So put on your Swami hat. What happens in the third?
Well, what's going to happen here, he's got to get Terry Simpson has to get his 2 lines going again with Solani and Korolev and Turcotte, play them and go back with Drake and Zamnov and Kachuk and give more ice time to everybody.
So stand by. We'll have the third period and the answer to that question in a moment. Here on CKND, Winnipeg TV.
What would you do if you won $6.49?
I don't think it would change me. I really don't. Well, it might change me a little.
Factoids from Advance. Nothing is free, but during the January warehouse clearance, you'll find the latest quality brand name electronics at the guaranteed best price or your money back. Plain and simple, only at Advance.
Be a winner. Help kids right here in Manitoba by supporting the Easter Sales Great Escape Lottery. Grand prize is a brand new GMC Sierra and Deluxe Sportsmaster 5th wheel from Transcona Trailer. Or take $50,000 in cash. Also win $1,000 weekly. Proceeds from the Easter Sales Great Escape Lottery provide vital service for more than 1,200 Manitoba children with disabilities. Only 7,500 tickets will be sold at just $40 each. So call 988-1995 now and get ready to win.
Molson Jets Hockey on CKND is brought to you in part by Reimer Express, Park Pontiac Buick GMC, and by Athlete's Wear.
In the beginning, there was nothing. But in the darkness, a faint light appeared in the vortex of the abyss. That light intensified and became what we now know to be the center of the universe. The Toronto Maple Leafs. On Wednesday, the Winnipeg Jets' voyage to Toronto will be documented on this station. Brought to you in part by Jim Gauthier.
Next Wednesday, we'll be in Toronto, 6:30 game time here on CKND. Here it's 2-2 after 2. in the second period. Summary, both goals scored by the Whalers. The Jets had started things off with a couple of power play goals in the first. Kachuk's 23rd and Manson's 4th, a period in which they outshot the Whalers 13-11. And then in the second period, Robert Cron got his 11th from Nicolation and Shanahan on the power play. And the only goal not scored on a power play. Smith is second from Burt and McCrimmon. In that period, the Whalers outshot the Jets 13-10. It's 2-2 going into the third. And for 24 seconds, the Jets will be shorthanded as Chris King is in the penalty box. Shanahan is out with Nicolation and Cron. Brown is back with Emerson. Emerson with it now. He's the top shooter in the game tonight with 5 shots on goal. Here's Gillen. Gets it to Stapleton. He's shot. That's kicked away by Burke. Shanahan kicks it back to Brown. He gives in turn to Emerson. Emerson looks for room. Can't get by Gillen. He dumps it in, and that will run out the penalty to Chris King. Back for Hartford is Brown. Brown winds up to center ice. Gets it on the right side to Cron. He tries it for Nicolation. Dumped in behind the Jet net. Cheveldae shovels it into the corner. Nicolation back. Brown shot. And it was easy for Tim Cheveldae.
Well, again, Tim Cheveldae is covering his pipes very well tonight. What you're going to see now is the first 5 minutes of this period is so important for setting the tone. It's to pull out a favorite cliche, it's a 20-minute hockey game right now. The shots on goal are 24-24. These first 5 minutes are really going to set the tone. The momentum could go either way very quickly.
Castles and Shamnoff to the left of Cheveldae. Shamnoff to Newman. Newman, pass went by Drake, stopped by Glenn, puts it in, Shamnoff puts it out. Didick with it now. He dumps it in. Quint goes back to get it. Trying to clear, can't get it by Dineen. He puts it in for Sanderson, who handed it right to Kachuk. He starts away with Quint, but there's a fracas behind the play. Dineen and Shamnoff, and there's going to be a penalty or two.
Canadian Tire has great prices on everything you need. Plus, earn Canadian Tire money with every cash purchase of merchandise. Great prices made better at Canadian Tire.
So Shamnoff and Dineen both go to the penalty box. They get called for roughing. You mentioned before, Ted, that Shamnoff a little less tolerant tonight than he might otherwise be.
You know, he's got to play that way, though, because he's such a skilled player. Everybody in the league will try to take advantage of him, try to run him. So he's got to stand up for himself. When the other players see that Shamnoff will fight back, they'll let him have some more room on the ice.
Here's Castles with it now. It's a 4-on-4. Castles puts it back into his own zone. And with it is Didick. Watched by Solani. Diddick's pass, a giveaway to Solani. Shot! And the save by Burke. Didick comes up with it again. Puts it around now to Burt. Burt chased by Solani. Gets to center. Has to stop. Now gets it up again. Gets it across the line. Dropped it to Castles. Down deep. Newman goes after it. Behind the net. Newman bothered by Sanderson. Newman manages to get it to Quint. He's approached by Didick. Spins free of him. And Darren Quint looks for help. Finds it in Newman, who takes it to center ice. Newman gets to the line. Gives to Kachuk, cutting on the net. Shot. Rebound. And that was cleared away. Here's Quint's shot. That went wide. Kachuk goes after it. Lays for Newman. Newman trying to hand it to Kachuk. The puck goes down deep. And it's picked up by Nelson Emerson, who scampers out to center ice. His lead pass. Shanahan takes a dive. Quint goes back to get it. Gives to Newman. Newman pokes it ahead to Kachuk. Kachuk in across the line, trying to go through the defense. Knocked away. And Shanahan starts back. Moves it to center. Puts the pass on the left side to Brown. Back to Shanahan. Dumps it toward the goal and wide. Solani with it now. 30 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Gives to Manson. Manson moves up. Long shot. Burke puts it aside to Brown. Brown works it up, and There's going to be a penalty to the Hartford Whalers.
Well, you'll see the penalty by Hartford. You'll see Jeff Brown, just a little lazy penalty. He puts the stick into the elbow. Turcotte spins around. Turcotte's out of the play there, or Glynn's got the penalty. That's just not a good penalty. He's out of the play. He's not going to cause any damage there. Now the Winnipeg Jets have the chance for the power play. And fortunate or unfortunate, Solani and Kachuk and Zamnoff were on the ice just a while ago, so the Winnipeg Jets have to create a new power play. And this is what they might need out here. Somebody else score a goal beside the regular goal scorers on that power play.
Well, here we take a look at Kachuk's scoring chance. He gets the puck down in the corner, moves right in front, but boy, give Burke a lot of credit. He is coming up with the big saves. Jets keep pouring on the pressure that last shift, but Burke continues to make the big save, and that's keeping the Whalers in this hockey game. Burke is getting ready now. He's going to even see some more action as the Jets prepare themselves for the power play.
Well, the Jets will have a 4-on-3 for 18 seconds, and then Jamnov and Dineen will move out of the penalty box. And then of the regular 5-on-4, Stapleton is out with Turcotte, Manson, and McIver. He goes back to McIver. McIver looks at Stapleton, likes to hold on to it. Now gives it to Stapleton. Turcotte is in front. Stapleton to McIver, to Manson, the drive. Turcotte in front. Turcotte goes after it. Back to the point, Manson. He moves in, gives to McIver. Back to Manson, shot block. Dineen out of the penalty box, so is Jamnov. And Dineen gets to center, long shot. Jets still have a man advantage. Here's Manson. Takes it to center ice. Gains the line. Gives to Turcotte. Back to Stapleton. Well, for Manson, he was outside the zone. Now it's dumped in. The Jets are offside, so Nicolation picks it up and dumps it the distance. A minute 12 left in the penalty. To Glenn, 2-2 the score. 3.5 gone, third period. Solani with it now for Winnipeg as the Jets make changes and send out the number 1 power play. McIver, checked by Nicolation. Nicolation content to kill some time, then dumps it in deep. And back to get it is Manson. Jamnov is up front with Kachuk and Solani. Here comes McIver. McIver works to center ice. Drives it in. Burt against Jamnov. Jamnov back to the point for Newman. It went by him. Castles goes after it. Shovelday way out of the goal. Wraps it around for McIver. McIver chips it ahead to Kachuk. Kachuk looks across for Newman and feeds him the pass. Newman gains the line, gives to Kachuk. Kachuk to Solani. For Jamnov, shot, and it went wide. Solani in deep. Didick and Kachuk. It goes down for Jamnov, trying to escape Brown. Jamnov works it. Back to Newman. Over to Quinn. Quinn in for Solani. Solani in front. And out of the penalty box is Glenn. Both clubs at full strength. Puck still in Whaler territory. Jensen's picks it up. Jensen's trying to free himself of Solani. One hands it down the ice. And the Whalers make a change. Newman goes back for it. Gives it to Jamnov. He slides it up the middle. Picked off. Shanahan shot off Clinton wide. Emerson to Shanahan. In front. And Quint gives to Doan. To Kachuk. Doan breaks to the middle. The pass for Doan. Trying to split the defense. And couldn't quite get it away. A good effort by the rookie Doan. Here's Jamnov. Jamnov falls. Puck goes deep. Kachuk gets it to Doan. Tied up by McCrimmon. And it's taken in behind the net by Martins. He looks for room. Gets to center. Moves to the outside. Dropped it off. Shanahan shot. Shovelday got just enough. It's sent back to the blue line. Penalty coming to the Jets. Glenn is back. Whalers with 6 attackers. Back with it is McCrimmon. The delayed penalty call on the Jets. The veteran Brad McCrimmon gets it over to Nelson Emerson. His shot blocked by Eastwood. Emerson regains possession. Gets it to Castles. Castles for Brown. Lots of traffic in front, but Eastwood touches it. And that brings about a stoppage, and there will be a penalty to the Winnipeg Jets.
Nothing added, nothing taken away.
Today in Ottawa, Bill S7, the Alternative Fuels Act, became law.
We would reduce the CO2 emissions into the atmosphere by 20,000 tons a year.
To help clean up the environment.
On June 22nd, 1995, the federal government made a decision to run its vehicles on fuels less harmful to the environment.
Because propane, natural gas, ethanol, and methanol.
Alternative fuels are a terrific Canadian opportunity.
Guess we were 15 years ahead of our time. Mohawk, Mother Nature's alternative gas station.
Well, you see Shane Doan getting his win back after making an excellent individual effort, coming down the ice, splitting the Whalers' defense right through the middle, just loses it at the end of the play and doesn't get a backhand on it. Very good play, though, on Shane Doan. He's been doing a strong game tonight. Here, Cheveldae just gets enough of the puck, almost rolls inside the post, but as I say, gets enough of it, rolls outside, and no change on the scoreboard.
Chris King in the penalty box. Interference at 6:13. So the Whale with an opportunity now to move ahead in this 2-2 hockey game. Nicolation lost the draw to Stapleton. It's in behind the net. Now Cron goes after it. It goes to the Jets. Gillen, he dumps it all the way down the ice. Burke gives to Brown. Brown is back with Emerson. Cron is up front with Shanahan and Nicolation. The puck goes down into Jet territory. With it there is Manson. Manson sends it all the way up the middle. And Burke leaves it. Brown will try it again. Comes slowly to Emerson. To Nicolation. To Brown. Drives it in. Manson is back. Can't pick it up. Emerson does. Gets it over now to Brown. Approached by Gillen. Over to Emerson. He gives to Cron. Cron takes a look. Gives to Nicolation. He gives to Cron. Shanahan moves in front. Emerson fakes to Cron. It's a rebound. Nicolation can't bat it home. It's at the side of the goal. Shanahan kicks at it. Gillen goes after it. Shanahan wins it. Tries it for Nicolation. Back to Emerson. Emerson into Nicolation. Shanahan in front again. Nicolation gets it over to Emerson. To Brown. Emerson. Nicolation shot. Shanahan in front. And he couldn't finish it off. Here's Emerson. At the point. Dumps it toward the net. Rebound. Here's Nicolation goes after. Now he centers it. Cheveldae the save. Nicolation centers. It goes back to Emerson. It gives to Brown. Brown in for Nicolation by him. Manson sees some room. And he clears it away. A minute and 40 seconds of occupation in Jet territory, but no reward for the Whalers. Here's Finley. Dumps it all the way down the ice, and that'll do it for Chris King's penalty. Diddick in behind the goal. King steps out of the penalty box. Diddick moves to center. 2-2 the score. 8:11 gone in this third period. Cheveldae around for Drake. Drake looks for help. Can't get much on the pass. Sanderson picks it up. Sanderson for Castles. Here's Castles in over the line. Tried it for Deneen. It's taken away by King. He goes back with Eastwood. King gains the line. King trying to work around. Here's King. A good effort. Glenn muscled him out. Now Diddick with it in the corner. And Diddick starts away for the Whalers. Puts it into the Jets zone. McIver knocks it back out. Solani trots after it now. Gets it across the line. Solani indeed takes it behind the goal. And taking it against the end boards by Burt. Chase with it. Takes it away for Hartford. Dumps it in. Manson goes after it. Manson around for Korolev. Korolev looks rink wide. Turcotte after it. Burt ties him up. Burke, the goaltender, covers up. Gloves it over to Chase. to Jansen's. Jansen's long shot kicked away by Shovelday. Now it's center, goes out Manson. Manson goes into the corner. Kapanen tried it for Chase. Chase is checked by Korolev. Kept in by Jansen. Korolev, Manson, McIver. Back it goes to Manson. Manson's pass goes out the stick of Solani. Back deep is Glenn. Run into by Solani. And Glenn gives Solani a shot back. Chase comes up with a puck. The midway mark of the third period. And the score is tied. Here's Quint to Newman. Newman takes it in. And is checked. Puck is dumped back by the Whalers. With it is Shovelday. Around for Quint. For Drake. To Newman. Tempo Newman's late pass for Shandov, and it's offside. 2-2, 9:40 left in the third.
With homeowners insurance, you think you're covered, but are you? Certain items require extra coverage. Coin and stamp collections. Even some home computer systems go above basic coverage and may need special riders. Other items that fall into this category are musical instruments or tools for professional use. Make a list and be sure your broker is aware of their value.
Insurance policies vary, so ask someone who knows. Your Premier broker understands. Insurance Tips is brought to you by the Premier Insurance Group. Group advantages with independent service.
Books make you smart. CKND Kids TV wants you to join the Jets Readers Club and collect bookmarks from all your favorite Jets.
Popovich, chased by King.
Collect these bookmarks.
Doan gets it back again. Here's Doan, works in, shot, saved by T-Ball.
The more you read, the more you know. Ask your teacher how you can join the Jets Readers Club today. Read books.
Well, here we see on the screen the young rookie coach and the wily old veteran Terry Simpson. Paul Maurice of Hartford has to be pleased with this game, and I'm sure Simpson's not happy with all the power he has. But here's Solani trying to get something going. Throws a good body check against Glenn. Glenn doesn't like it when you get hit. But maybe next time Solani will get the jump on him again.
Here's Kachuk. Dumps it outside the zone. Taken back in by Martins. Stopped by Newman. To Zhamnov. Zhamnov gets it over to Kachuk. Kachuk gains the line. Dropped it off. Here's Drake. Shot. Blocking it is Glenn. Drake gets it again. Sand on a pass. Now puts it in for Kachuk. Kachuk trying to work it by Martins. Kachuk fights off Martins. Gives to Zhamnov. Zhamnov works it in front. Here's Zhamnov. His shot. Can't get anything on it as Martins had him wrapped up. Now Zhamnov again. Nobody works in traffic like he does. To Kachuk. He planned on it. Quinn shot. That goes wide. In with it is Emerson. Emerson takes it to center ice. Trying to get by Newman. Kachuk picks it up, and he starts back for Winnipeg. Gives to Zhamnov. Kachuk goes to the goal. Zhamnov drops to Drake. Back to Zhamnov. Zhamnov is checked by a sliding Nikolation. Then is Nikolation hit by Drake. The puck goes to Diddick. Gerald Diddick, center ice to the line, puts it over. Craw trying to work it through. Weak shot. Shovelday knocks it aside. It's deep. Shannon trying to clear. Diddick holds it momentarily. Stapleton now bounces on it, leaves it for King. He tried it for Doan. By him. Burt in behind his goal. Here's Adam Burt. Forced off by Stapleton. It's dumped in. Back to get it is Shanahan. Is Shannon. Shannon starts back. His pass for Doan. Doan, rink wide. King. King dumps it in. Just under 8 minutes left. Third period. Score tied 2-2. Shane Doan for Winnipeg. Run into. Puck goes back to the point. McIver. McIver trying to swing by a check. Gets it to Stapleton to Doan. Doan knocks his man down. Here's Doan. Trying to get away from Brown. Brown takes it away. Doan goes after him. And now McCrimmon has it. Here's Nikolation to the jet line. Nikolation goes outside. Gives to Sanderson. Checked by Stapleton. Here's Deneen. Dropped it back. Nobody home. And Burke comes out of the goal. Leaves it there for Diddick. 7:15 left in the third. Score is tied. Here's Korolev. Back for Winnipeg. For Solani. For Turcotte. Now Solani comes up with it. Dineen in pursuit. Hudson Turcotte, a shot. Blocked by Glenn. And it's cleared by the Whalers to center. Manson waits. Trying to feed Solani. Broken up by Castles. Castles pass intercepted. And Manson comes back with it. Manson can't get by Castles. It's dumped back in, and going forward is McIver. McIver swings by a couple of checks, gives to Turcotte with Korolev, who takes the feed, puts it into the corner. Korolev takes Burt with him. Turcotte digs it out. He centers off Brown, and Chase to center ice Jansen. He dumps it in. Just over 6 minutes left. 2-2 the score. Burt deep now for the Whalers. Here's Burt trying to escape Numminen. He centers it, and Korolev dumps it out. Chase goes back. Burke is out of the goal. Tried it for Chase. Dumped out to center ice. Jansen flips it into Jet territory. Cheveldae puts it into the corner. It's centered. Jansen shot, and it just missed. Here's Shanahan. He centers, knocked away by Cheveldae. Diddick pitches and lets it go. And the save by Cheveldae. Finley hits it ahead. Unable to clear as Drake. Now Finley with it for Winnipeg to Kachuk. He dumps it in. Glenn got a piece of him. With it is Martin. To Shanahan. Here's Emerson. Long shot wide. Martins goes after it. Dumps it deep. Manson around for Drake. Drake can't clear. It goes now to Emerson. A weak shot. Gloved and held by Tim Cheveldae.
If you're between 50 and 75, Norwich Union will insure you for life with no medical exam or health questions.
Even with my heart condition, I didn't need a medical to be insured.
And they didn't ask us any health questions.
Your guaranteed life insurance can cost as little as $20 a month. Depending on your age and the premium you choose, you could be covered for up to $25,000. And in case of a fatal accident, your benefit triples up to $75,000.
With the guaranteed life insurance plan, I'll have the affordable protection I need, and my premiums will never go up.
Call this number now for your free personal enrollment kit. You're under no obligation, and no salesperson will visit. If you're between 50 and 75, you're automatically approved with no medical exam.
Just call 1-800-263-9899. An operator is standing by to take your call now. That's 1-800-263-9899. Ask for operator 411.
Jets are home Sunday to conclude the homestand. 6:30. The Mighty Ducks of Anaheim will be here. Call 780-seat.
Well, about 5 shifts ago, Zhamnov's line was performing some real magic. You see Dallas Drake pick it up and put it back to Zhamnov. Nikolition makes a super diving play here. Saves what could have turned out to be a goal and turned the game around. Could have been, a real turning point in the game there.
Stay tuned following tonight's game for the Jim Gauthier Big Easy Play of the Game. Brought to you by the home of the Big Buy, Jim Gauthier, Chevrolet, Geo Cadillac. Off the faceoff in a jet zone, Shanahan knocks it in behind the net. Manson tries it for Eastwood. Eastwood knocked it ahead. Doan is in a strong third period, goes after it, knocks it down deep. And the Whalers coming out of their own zone. It's taken out to center ice. Martins apprehended from behind by Stapleton. King pounced on a loose puck, moves in, lets it go. Burt the save, and he covers up. 2-2, 4:45 left in the third.
Here are 3 things you'll never find at Landau Lincoln Mercury.
These are the lowest prices ever. Just $99 a month. Some restrictions may apply. Vehicle not exactly as shown. Tires and engine not included. We've got the best selection, the best prices, the best financing, the best deals, the best hot dogs, the best balloons, the best locations, the best...
At Landau, the only promises we make are the promises we can keep. Fair price, professional service, and no hidden costs.
Landau Lincoln Mercury. What a dealership should be.
Oh, hi. I know I haven't seen you in a couple of days, but I had to go to my mom's 8-course holiday feast. Then it was off to Susie's. I I ate all these goodies. Down, tons of desserts.
Ate your way through the holidays? Get back to your regular routine of exercise and a balanced diet, which may include Kellogg's Special K cereal. Low in fat. Delicious, light, crispy flakes. So make tomorrow morning a Special K morning.
I promise we'll spend more time together.
Well, Chris King getting his thoughts together for after that shift that he just had. This line has really been playing well. Here, Chris King's got the puck on the far side, just buries his head, takes a shot and hopes for the best. But that line has really been playing extremely well tonight, led by Shane Doan, who's been doing a lot of crunching, throwing the body around and winning the battles in the corners. And that's really helped the other lines get their win back and get themselves into the game.
Off the face-off in the Hartford zone goes to Shemnov. A shot. Gloved by Burke. He drops it in behind. Andrew Castles tries to lead the Whalers out. Did get it to center ice. Sanderson overskated. Shemnov comes back. Here's Shemnov with Kachuk. Shemnov shot. Burke the save. Loose puck. Bird comes up with it. Now Bird outside. Dumps it to center. Hit all the way down the ice. It looked to be a 3-on-1, and suddenly Solani disappeared. He was hauled down by somebody, and that was let go. But a good opportunity for the Jets, who haven't scored since the first period.
Well, there again, the Hartford player right center ice doesn't take control of the puck, and there's Samnoff, not the right guy to have the puck. But he puts his head up, he takes a shot. Kachuk is going to the net again, but Samnoff's coming out a little stronger right now. He has the ability to put this game away.
Face off to the right of Sean Burke. He's faced 31 shots. Tim Chevelday has faced 32. 2-2 the score. Just over 4 minutes left in the third. Turcotte, the former Whaler, faces off against Janssens. Turcotte wins it to Manson. He dumps it in deep. Brown goes back for it. Behind the net. Korolev can't reach it. Cron. Pass into the middle for Janssens. Dumps it in deep. Back to get it is Manson. Manson can't clear. Smith at the point. Dumps it in deep. Korolev back to get it. He clears it all the way down the ice. And that will be icing when Brown gets back for it.
Well, Dave Manson has had a pretty good game tonight, but he started off right at the beginning of the game, taking the puck up the ice there. He scored a nice goal. He's been a little bit miserable out there tonight. He's had a good season so far this year. He's got that big boomy shot. He goes to the skills competition. Got the hardest shot in the Winnipeg Jets. They could use another blast from the point for him.
You know, it's not often Dave Manson gets more ice time than Temple Newman, and I haven't had a watch on it by any means, but it would appear to be the case tonight. Manson has been out a lot, and I know they like to have him out against Shanahan because of the strength of Brendan Shanahan, but he's been out a lot even when Shanahan hasn't been. Here's McIver. Takes it behind the goal, puts it into the corner. Doan with it for Winnipeg. Doan trying to kick it free from Cron. Manson can't clear. Backhand try by Nicolishin. Here's McIver with it. Gets it ahead to Stapleton. Stapleton's pass. Here's Eastwood. Gains the line. Eastwood goes outside. Takes it down deep. Puts it in behind. Nicolishin is there. Eastwood trying to fetch it. Eastwood does manage to pull it free. It goes down to Doan. Back Manson shot way wide. McIver headed both by, and Manson has to go back for it. 3 minutes left in the third. The score is tied. McIver dumps it in. Burt goes after it for Hartford. Burt puts it ahead with it now. Nelson Emerson up to the line. Goes outside. Tried to dump it in. It's grabbed by Finley. Finley around for Eastwood. Eastwood can't get by Diddick. His shot gloved by Chevelday. Tried to drop it, and it got caught up in the webbing. Aren't you glad you don't have Ted Urban's job picking the 3 stars tonight?
That would be a very difficult situation. I'm not envious of that this evening.
Well, when you're a student of the game like I am, it's very easy to pick out certain players that have played outstanding. Oh, this is an old-timer hockey game with speed. There's not a lot of hitting like they said there would be, and good goaltending at both ends, but not a lot of offensive chances for the goaltenders. And Winnipeg Jets, you don't want to lose to hockey clubs like Hartford Whalers if you want to be competitive near the end of the season.
Emerson is out with Shanahan. And also up front for the Hartford Whalers is Sammy Kapanen. It goes down to Newman. His pass, here's Solani trying to break through. Solani falls. Puck is grabbed by Burt. He dumped it to center ice. Newman with it now. Sent out to center. Burt with it. Burt trying to get away from Shamnob, and it's offside. Now, Terry Gregson's not about to call a penalty. Solani did glorify the ball, but
we see the speed. I mean, there, you got to let your stars play the game. He breaks through the two defensemen, and they do pull him down. Timo Solani's a little lucky right after this, too, because he goes and bumps referee Gregson. But here they are. I mean, they're holding it back. There you got him right there. Bert's got hold. He can't make the move. Timo does embellish it a little bit, but he's through the two defensemen. You got to let the superstars play hockey in this league, as they do in basketball. That's a penalty there. Let them play. Let them get the breakaway.
We've seen some tremendous speed from Solani tonight. They've been trying that a lot to break him through the middle. Here's McCrimmon. Dumps it in. Newman goes back to get it. 2:15 left. In the third, 2-2 the score. Newman. To Kachuk. Pass into the middle. Castles to Deneen. Dumps it in deep. Newman goes back for it. Newman beaten off the puck by Sanderson. They score! Sanderson took it from Newman. Threw it in front. It went off a skate, I believe. It's 3-2 Hartford.
Well, you can feel it coming there. Just a little dump into the Winnipeg Jets. Shovelday gets a little confused. Temple wants to throw it around the board. Doesn't get enough on it. Sanderson basically scores from behind the net. Temple Newman just couldn't get the puck into the corner away. He holds on. He's looking for the far forward, but you can see his stick catches the board. He doesn't clear the puck, and Sanderson just basically throws it towards the front of the net, and it looks like it might have gone one of the Jet players.
Alexei Zhemnov's skate, I believe. Unassisted by Jeff Sanderson. A huge goal for the Whalers with 1:58 left in the third. The Jets haven't scored since 11:24 of the first. Now they've got 1:58 to even this one up. Turcotte, Korolev, and Drake, Manson and McIver. Here's Diddick. Puts it into Jet territory. Korolev back to pick it up. Korolev looks for room, feeds McIver. He dumps it in. After it goes Drake. Drake kicks it in behind the net. With it there is Turcotte. Turcotte for Drake. Drake puts it in front. It went through the crease. Now Deneen. Chased by Korolev to center. Puts it into the Jets on Manson. Can't clear. Castles to Deneen. Tried it back. Manson intercepts. Looks ahead. Lead pass too far for Turcotte. Burt is back. Sends it to center. Dumped into the Jet zone. Manson cuts it off to McIver. McIver is checked. McIver goes back. 1:08 left. 3-2. The Whalers lead. Here's McIver. Shovelday still in the net. The Jets can't get anything organized. Emerson dumps it in. Jensen puts it deep. Manson goes back for it. 55 seconds. 53 seconds. Manson in front. Looks ahead. Feeds Solani. His relay. Picked off. Shanahan dumps it in. Shovelday had started out. Manson back with it. 42 seconds. Manson watched by Emerson. He's been out a long time. Manson for Shamnob. He can't pick it up. Jets trying to hit the man in the neutral zone, and the Whalers are cutting the play off. Kachuk is back. Kachuk needs 27 seconds. Kachuk puts it in front of his own goal. Manson will try it again. Again, it's broken up. Castle for Shanahan. To Emerson. He'll take all the time in the world. 14 seconds. It's dumped back in by Brown. Shovelday, 10 seconds. To McIver. McIver's pass to Lanny. 4 seconds. Long shot. Berg grabs. The Whalers win. A come-from-behind victory by the Hartford Whalers. And the wind is gone from the sails of the Jets.
Similar to what we said, in the past, the Winnipeg Jets have done this before. They shoot themselves in the foot. They have a great opportunity to get a winning streak going, and they come out and they lose to a club like Hartford.
So the final score, the Hartford Whalers 3, the Winnipeg Jets 2. Stand by for the Molson 3 Stars.
Be a winner. Help kids right here in Manitoba by supporting the Easter Sales Great Escape Lottery. Grand prize is a brand new GMC Sierra and Deluxe Sportsmaster fifth wheel from Transcona Trailer. Or take 50 grand in cash. Also win $1,000 weekly. Proceeds from the Easter Sales Great Escape Lottery provide vital service for more than 1,200 Manitoba children with disabilities. Only 7,500 tickets will be sold at just $40 each. So call 988-1995 now and get ready to win.
This is you. These are your kids. They're a healthy bunch. Lucky you. This is Rebecca. Rebecca's hoping for a myoelectric hand that will let her play the left-hand parts with a left hand. If you pledge support to the Variety Club, you can help kids like Rebecca be kids like yours.
Everybody seems to feel the pinch just a little more this time of year.
Andy, I got a turkey sandwich. Double hamburger, Fred. 2 of them. $2.
That's why McDonald's is offering 2 double hamburgers for only $2. They're just the value break you need after the holidays.
Fred, have a double hamburger.
And
thanks, Andy.
You stay in the spirit of giving.
Have half my turkey. No.
2 double hamburgers for $2 for a limited time, only at McDonald's.
Fruitcake? No.
Time now for the Molson Cup 3 stars of tonight's hockey game. The number 3 star from the Jets, Dallas Drake. The 2nd star from the Hartford Whalers, stopping 29 shots, Sean Burke. And the number 1 star from the Winnipeg Jets, Alexei Zhamnov. And Sean Burke, number 2 stars tonight. Jets got off to a great start, but the Hartford Whalers battled back in this one for you.
Yeah, we did tonight. That was the key. You know, I think a lot of times this year we've got down after the first, and it's really been a struggle for us. But tonight we kept plugging and killed some big penalties off, and then we got going and got the right goal at the right time.
I think the key of this game might have been the second period. Late in the period, Dallas Drake twice with 2 breakaways, and you stopped.
Well, I just, again, you know, I wasn't too happy about the second goal I let in, and so I wanted to make up for that, and that was a good time to do it. And, you know, the guys showed a lot of character tonight. We came out in that third period. This team's been playing very well, Winnipeg, and we knew they had a great third period last game, and so we came out, we took it to them, and again, we got the goal we needed.
All right, Sean Burke, thank you very much. 29 stops for Sean Burke tonight. He is the 2nd star of tonight's hockey game. The number 3 star, Dallas Drake. 2nd star, Sean Burke. And the number 1 star, Alexei Zhamnov. Now you take a look at the overall Molson Cup standings involving the Winnipeg Jets. The final score tonight, a great victory for the Hartford Whalers, a disheartening loss for the Winnipeg Jets. Whalers win it 3-2. More to come on our telecast.
Hi. As a Manitoba Natural Resource Officer, I'm often reminded how Manitoba forests give us the best of both worlds. A renewable resource providing environmental benefits and products for our everyday lives and needs. Proper harvesting rejuvenates young growth in both planted and natural forests. At Manitoba Natural Resources, we keep an eye on our forests by regular inspections. It's what you've asked us to do.
Says, score! Chris King rips one as Bridger. Second shot, big score! Never ended. And back, first shot, hit. Here's a chance for
Nato. Play Safeway, score and win. When the Jets score on CK&D, you could win a set of quality appliances from Tefal. A 20-piece set of Mikasa fine china in the Currents pattern. A Gold Star Start Touch 2 VCR, or a Texas Instruments personal organizer. You could also win a trip for 2 to Mazatlan, Mexico, courtesy of Canadian Holidays, Canada's largest vacation company. To enter, drop by your local Safeway, and when the Jets score on CKND, you could win. Score and win at Safeway, today's better way.
Heart soldier, heart detective, all hero, Jag.
She's missing. Well, she disappeared sometime last night. I need time. Time to find out what happened.
From the creator of Quantum Leap and Magnum P.I.
Saturday at 7 p.m. on CKND Winnipeg TV.
Time now for tonight's Jim Gauthier Big Easy play of the game, and it came in the third period. The score tied at 2 between the Whalers and the Jets. Alexei Zhamnov set up perfectly in the slot by Dallas Drake, but Nick Galichin dives across to clear the puck away. That's the Big Easy play of the game, brought to you by the home of the Big Buy, Jim Gauthier Chevrolet's Geo Cadillac. The Jets' two-game winning streak is over. More to come on our telecast.
When you buy a mutual fund, aren't you really investing in a professional money manager? Well, at CI Mutual Funds, we've got the right people in the right places. Like John Zechner, managing CI's Canadian portfolios. Sean Chan, advising the Asia-Pacific funds. And Bill Sterling, our global strategist in New York. Each highly respected, well-connected, and performance-driven. Your financial advisor knows CI's money managers. All you have to do is ask.
So how's your headache?
It's gone.
Oh, so the Tylenol I gave you worked, even on your really tough headache.
Tylenol worked great. I didn't think it would.
So you were wrong.
I was wrong.
For headaches, doctors recommend Tylenol the most. More than aspirin, more than ibuprofen.
I like a guy who can admit he's wrong.
Well, I'm wrong a lot.
One of life's great rewards is doing the right things right. It's not traveling down the road of compromise. It's an unhurried journey towards fulfillment. And in the places you travel and the people you touch along the way, you've discovered one thing. It's the journey that counts, not the arrival.
Getting out of bed before the sun is tough enough. Don't need a bad cold slowing you down. I was sure glad for having Sudafed in the medicine chest. Took care of the stuffed up nose, congestion, because there were things to do.
Non-drowsy Sudafed can relieve your worst cold symptom, so you can get on with your day. Sudafed, when you've got better things to do than nurse a cold.
Promotional considerations provided by Waltham Watches, a name known for prestige and quality since 1857, elegant styling, and the latest in technology. A name you can trust in modern timepieces. Waltham. Vernos Auto Body now presents the crunch of the game. This came in the first period, and Nick Galichin, we've already highlighted him. We're going to highlight him again here. And we don't know who's really doing the crunching here. Dallas Drake moves in, and it's Nick Galichin who's still standing after the crunch. The crunch of the game brought to you by Vernos Auto Body, family owned and operated for over 40 years. All right, let's find out what's happening around the National Hockey League, courtesy of MTS. Montreal Canadiens had a 4-1 lead on the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Penguins came back and led it 5-4, but the Canadiens scored 2 late goals. The game winner from Brian Savage is 21st. They beat Pittsburgh. Detroit over Los Angeles by a score of 3-2, so the Jets remain 1 point back of 5th place LA. Chicago shuts out Anaheim by a score of 3-0. The Ducks will play the Jets Sunday here at the arena. Dallas leading Florida 6-5. The Panthers making a comeback in this one. Ken Hitchcock looking for his first victory as an NHL head coach. Calgary 3, Buffalo 1. Gary Roberts has all the goals for the Flames. 4 goals in 2 games for Gary Roberts. The final score here tonight, the Hartford Whalers on the game winner by Jeff Sanderson to beat the Jets 3-2. You are up to date on the NHL, courtesy of MTS. We'll be back to wrap things up when our Molson Jets hockey telecast returns.
Getting out of bed before the sun is tough enough. Don't need a bad cold slowing you down. I was sure glad for having Sudafed in the medicine chest. Took care of the stuffed up nose, congestion, because there were things to do.
Non-drowsy Sudafed can relieve your worst cold symptom, so you can get on with your day. Sudafed, when you've got better things to do than nurse a cold.
Every morning you have your routine. Wake up, get out of bed, eat the same old thing.
Hey, you want to change the pace? Break away to the lively taste of Apple Cinnamon Cheerios. Completely different and totally delicious. Real bits of apple, a sprinkling of cinnamon, and scrumptious crunchy oats makes an oh-so-tasty O. Apple Cinnamon Cheerios. Don't just wake up, shake it up.
Play Safeway Score and Win. When the Jets score on CKND, you could win a set of quality appliances from Tefal. A 20-piece set of Mikasa fine china in the currents pattern. A Gold Star Start Touch 2 VCR. Or a Texas Instruments personal organizer. You could also win a trip for two to Mazatlan, Mexico, courtesy of Canadian Holidays, Canada's largest vacation company. Safeway's participating products, Tropicana Premium Pure Orange Juice, and Purex Bathroom Tissue. Score and win at Safeway, today's better way.
Now at the Brick, pay no interest on everything in the store with no down payment. Top brand name electronics, Sony, RCA, Zenith, Hitachi, Kenwood, IBM, and more. Do not pay until 1997 on this RCA Color Track Plus stereo monitor receiver with stand only $6.99. This Zenith Hi-Fi stereo VHS VCR with on-screen programming and more, just $3.99. Pay no interest on everything in the store. And on specially selected home furnishings, do not pay interest until 1999. Now through this weekend, nobody beats the Brick.
Tonight's Safeway Score and Win grand prize winner will receive a trip for two to Mazatlan, Mexico, where you and a guest will spend 7 glorious days on the sun-drenched beaches at the Caravel Beach Club, courtesy of Canadian Holidays, Canada's largest vacation company. Tonight's grand prize winner, Oris Drilzabicki of Winnipeg. The winner Score and Win by attaching a proof of purchase from Campbell's Cooking and Broth Soups. Fill out a ballot at your local Safeway. Score and Win at Safeway. Today's better way.
In the beginning, there was nothing. But in the darkness, a faint light appeared in the vortex of the abyss. That light intensified and became what we now know to be the center of the universe. The Toronto Maple Leafs. On Wednesday, the Winnipeg Jets' voyage to Toronto will be documented on this station. Brought to you in part by Jim Gauthier.
Well, the Jets may have been losers, but we did have a couple of Safeway Score and Win winners tonight, these lucky Safeway shoppers. Chris Lovering. He wins a quality set of appliances from Tefal. And our other winner tonight, Ruby Patrick, who won a Dirt Devil vacuums from Royal Appliance. Well, as Ted Irvin said tonight, the Jets shot themselves in the foot. They had a great opening 20 minutes, scored 2 goals on the power play at the midway point of the period, and looked to be cruising in control. But they let the Hartford Whalers back into this game in the second period, the Whalers tying it up. And then in the third period, very late in the third period, Jeff Sanderson with his 15th goal of the season, banking it in off the stick of Tim Chevalier. That was the game winner as the Hartford Whalers put an end to the Jets' mini 2-game winning streak, their first winning streak in well over a month. So now the Jets will try to get their game, a complete 60-minute game, back in order when they take on the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. That game will be played Sunday night here at the arena. Our next Molson Jets hockey telecast will come your way Wednesday night, January 17th at 6:30, when we will go to the center of the universe to see the Jets take on the Maple Leafs. That'll be the Jets' last game before the All-Star break. Sean Burke stopped 29 shots. The Whalers beat the Jets 3-2. Good night from the arena. Tonight's telecast of the Jets on CKND Winnipeg TV was brought to you by Molson Canadian. The executive producer of the Jets on CKND is Ron Harrison. Tonight's telecast was produced by Ed Milliken, directed by John Sapala. Production manager for CKND is Tim Jones. And a special thanks to all those personnel, both technical and production, who helped make tonight's telecast possible.
"60 Minutes, Sunday at 6 p.m. on CKND, Winnipeg TV.
Tonight on Newsline, acting on a tip, police nail some cigarette smugglers at the Manitoba border. And the Blue Bombers are in a nosedive to financial futility unless you help.
Live from CKND Winnipeg TV, this is Newsline with Barry Burns and Stan Kubicek.
Good evening, I'm Barry Burns. Police and taxation officials made a huge seizure tonight of smuggled cigarettes just east of Steinbach. 2 men are being questioned this evening in connection with the bust that in tax figures amounts to about $100,000. Newsline's Joni Nicolo has this exclusive report on the RCMP Provincial Taxation Revenue Canada joint operation.
Okay, just unlock the door first, please.
Investigators uncovered more than $50,000 worth of smuggled cigarettes, about 50 cases stacked in the back of a van.
Did you know you couldn't have these cigarettes in Manitoba?
Ontario.
Police aren't sure where the product was headed, but believe one man to be from Toronto and the other from Vancouver.
The taxes and penalties upon conviction will run over $100,000, so approaching $120,000. So it's a substantial seizure for anywhere, and certainly for Manitoba.
The cigarettes are all Ontario banded, where it's $20 cheaper to buy a carton.
There's a substantial markup such as that, and that lends people to going into smuggling and contravening the law. There's so much of it. We concentrate most of our efforts on commercial ventures such as this.
Please, excuse me?
The 2 men will be questioned and scheduled for a court appearance sometime next week. Tony Nicolo, CKND Newsline.
It's 3rd and 10, and the Blue Bombers are gambling, mounting debts, and impatient creditors are blitzing. The Bombers owe about $4 million, and some of the bills are being called. New Bomber President Lynn Bishop says if the team doesn't get significant help in the next 2 months, they could fold. Newsline's David Giroux reports.
The problem is serious. It's very serious.
Over the next 60 days, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are going to have to work hard to score a financial touchdown. The team is $4 million in debt, and they've given themselves 2 months to get out of the red.
$650,000 of that is money owed to trade creditors, for the most part in Winnipeg, but elsewhere as well. And we just can't operate on this basis.
Jake Marks has been waiting 6 months for the $40,000 the Bombers owe him for advertising. And although some creditors are willing to wait a while longer, he has initiated court action to force the Bombers to pay their bill.
Our decision was a business one, and we keep an eye on our banker, who keeps an eye on us, and we must make responsible business decisions.
Sam Cates is the co-owner of 2 Winnipeg sports teams, the Cyclones and the Goldeyes. He says local entrepreneurs are ready to step in and take over the team. Private ownership with volunteer supports are what he sees as the long-term solution to the team's problem.
Sports has to be outside the taxpayer. Taxpayers should not be subsidizing ongoing expenses of any sporting franchise, in my opinion.
But the club doesn't agree. They want the team to maintain its community-based ownership. Lynn Bishop says a new business manager has been appointed, and the team will be looking to the public and business for support.
We simply have to address the business side of the operation and make that side of the operation much more sophisticated and professional than it has been.
Blue Bomber Gerald Wilcox played with the Ottawa Rough Riders when they were having financial troubles. He says players are helpless to do anything but hope for a positive outcome.
And I don't think the 600,000 people that live in this city
after feeling what they felt over the last 12 months of knowing that there's going to be no more hockey here after 16 years, the thought of not having the Bombers in town, I don't think that anybody would stand for it.
The Blue Bombers certainly aren't in the desperate financial situation the Jets found themselves in last year, but the team is in trouble. And it may not be long before Winnipeg finds itself caught up in another Save the Sports Team campaign and an effort to keep professional football alive here in Manitoba. In Winnipeg, David Giroux, CKND Newsline.
A fire on William Avenue this afternoon has investigators thinking arson. Crews were called to 1837 William Avenue shortly after 2:30. The first floor fire caused $25,000 damage. Luckily, no one was home at the time. However, the incident is being considered suspicious because the back door was left open. The investigation continues tonight. Manitoba natives were on the march again today in downtown Winnipeg. More than 500 protesters converged on the Federal Medical Services building. They were there to protest the quality of Aboriginal health care. As Newsline's Joni Nicolo reports, it's the first in what's expected to be a series of protests across the country.
They say they're fed up. Native people from across Manitoba are tired of what they call second-class medical care.
Express your concern too.
The natives claim people are dying from unacceptable health care. Diseases like TB and hepatitis could be the result of overcrowded and unsanitary living conditions on reserves.
I'm hoping that the Minister of Finance, Paul Martin, will sit up and take notice. And when he makes his next budget, he will not do it on the backs of the Indian people.
They sent the same message as they camped out in federal health offices.
What's your reaction? Oh, yeah, that's fine. It's a peaceful demonstration, a peaceful sit-in.